Well, what do we have here? Another edition of Outlaw Radio, Hump Day edition of Outlaw Radio. About It or Without It is the name of the show tonight. About It or Without It. We used to say that back in the days in my neighborhood, be about it or be without it, which just meant handle your business or don't have any business. My name is Kevin Barnes. I am the host of Outlaw Radio, the militant with a microphone, the mouthpiece of the movement, aka the Negro Whisperer, also known in some circles as the world-class smartass. What it do? Welcome to this foundational Black American platform we call Outlaw Radio, where we pretty much discuss things that are pertinent, relevant, and important to the Black community. So if you're not Black and you just happen up on the show, you can listen, but understand that the perspective is that of a foundational Black American man, and it's intended for other foundational Black American men and women. So if you hear something that you feel like it sparks you a little bit, we do have a phone number attached to the show. It's 262-202-5131, 262-202-5131. And then we do have a chat room that's very, very, very active at all times. So welcome aboard, man. I hope you, if you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. I do have one of my co-hosts here, Mr. Ian C. Jordan. I like to refer to him as the fact checker. Ian, what it do, man?
Man, it's good, man. How's everything going with you? I'm feeling good.
Okay, how's your week been so far?
Week has been great so far. Monday was great. Uh, Tuesday was good. And I'm pretty sure today will be excellent. A lot of news going on, things that we're still trying to verify here, especially with the Virginia State Senator. I will be reading that while you're talking. It looks like it was some type of cannabis outlet that was, she co-owned it, and she got raided. And apparently it's linked to redistricting efforts led by the Democrat, which is her. Yeah, interesting, man.
I'm sure we'll talk about it.
Yes, sir.
I see Sharita Shaw early in the chat room. What's up, Sharita? She says, hello, everyone. How you doing tonight, Sharita? Mondays and Wednesdays, man. Mondays and Wednesdays is when the show is on, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And people always ask me, how do I watch the show? Well, we simulcast. So the show is actually on YouTube, on the People's Network with a Z. It's on my government page on Facebook, Kevin Barnes, which is, like I say, my government name. And then we have an Outlaw Radio page as well as dedicated to the show. So it's a bunch of different ways to partake in the show. And, if you're my friend, you should be getting a notification when the show comes on. But like I say, man, if you want to go back and see some of the archive shows, go onto the YouTube page. And you'll see there's 275, 280 shows there from far back as 11 years ago when I first started out. And I used to do this thing live from the studio here at my house. So switched formats, as COVID hit and just went to more of a virtual thing. But I am looking to add some live face-to-face shows. I'm just looking for the right location. I have not been able to find the right place because I'm not going to pay somebody's child's college tuition so I can do a podcast from their location. So I'm sure the right place will come. I'm constantly looking for team members, people who, if you do editing, if you do marketing, if you do social media, if you want to just be on the panel, it depends on your perspective. You have something to say and you know how to say it, right? Because we know a lot of people got something to say, but they don't always know how to say it. So holler at me, inbox me, get with me. Mondays and Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time is when we're on. I do want to give a shout out to Mama Jenkins. Shout out to Mama Jenkins. She sent her support and her love for the show. That Cash App is down there for donations to the show. If you want to donate to the show just to help us out with things, it's not free to do. So most of the expenses are shouldered by yours truly, and it's always been the way this thing goes. So the Cash App is at the bottom of the screen if you want to jump in there and put a little bit in the kitty. We welcome that. But shout out to Mama Jenkins for sending her love. She's been under the weather. Hope she's with us tonight. She always adds so much to the show. I see Ewok the Great in the chat room. He said Walk's World. Ewok, you tagged me in a Facebook post. I don't know what you was talking about, homie. I know you like to Ewok and myself like to talk about hip hop, classic hip hop a lot, and quote a lot of songs. But I was boggled because I was like, I don't know this one.
Didn't know the one he sent.
I didn't get it. He sent it. It's on Facebook, but I was just kind of like, well, what song is this? Or is he just speaking in homeboy code? You know, they say he's speaking in Ebonics to me. But yeah, Ian, you got anybody you want to shout out?
Man, I want to shout out to my mom last week. She well Monday, she found the show highly entertaining. She was confused by Chris. She didn't understand him. She did not know that he was that maggot out. So I explained it to her, and she was like, "Oh, okay." She's like, "I do remember that young man and all that stuff." She was like, she'll be praying for him. In addition to that, Jeff, as always, she love you, Kev, and everybody that just watches, man. It's really cool because I get a lot of private messages about the show. And over the next couple of days, because I actually finished it today, I've edited about 27 different clips of the show, and I'm just gonna start uploading them. Yeah, it took a couple days to do it, but yeah, just some very good points from last week. Monday, I got to get the Mondays. I'll be doing those tomorrow. But yeah, man, I'm gonna start uploading them tonight. And I'm telling you, Kev, listening to some of this, highly entertaining. Just going through doing some of the editing, just highly entertaining. I'm like, oh yeah, that was really funny when we said that. And then the spots where, what did you say? You said last week I jumped in and said something. You're like, no, Ian, I'm a big boy. I can defend myself. It was so funny. You was like, oh no, I got this, and I forgot what it was about though. But it's on one of the clips. It was really funny.
So, okay.
Yeah,
and I gotta I need to see some of that stuff because I want to put it on our TikTok page. We do have a TikTok page under the People's Network, and I normally would run the YouTube clips through Opus Clip, but I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to because my iPad is on the fritz, and that's normally what I use to go to Opus Clip. So, just man, these machines, man, it's always something. So one breaks down, you gotta be able to rely on another. So.
Yes.
Looking forward to that. Ewok said that's 8Ball and MJG, which I should know. He said it's on 8Ball's double disc. That's Lost.
Oh, okay. I remember that disc.
Okay, yeah. Classic cover on Lost. With the Impala and the vultures. And the crash space shuttle in the background. And that was a dope album. Yeah, it's a dope album. The cover threw you off?
Yeah, because it was so unique. You just can't forget. It was undeniable, and the album was awesome. So it made it even weird, like crazier. I'm like, this dude, man, underrated. He's underrated, man. Yeah, MJG, man. We don't even got to talk about him. Yeah,
crazy. That was a time in rap when there was so much classic music being released, and people got overlooked. And now, man, I wish the volume was even close to. I mean, because you could just pick up a random album back in those days and start playing it and be like, whoa. And
who's this guy?
Right, like I grabbed Top Authority. I fell in love with Bay Area rap music. And I used to get like Mac Mall and all those guys, Selly Cell and a bunch of that stuff, man. I used to just have playing in my car in the South. Everything rap a lot would release. Big Mellow and just a bunch of stuff. People now say, who is that? I even remember grabbing South Circle and playing it for the homies days, and they was blown away. Like, who in the hell is this? And it's just like, man, I'm not up to date on the culture like I used to be because most of the music that I hear now is just not for me, right? Because I'm an old ass man. I'm old and dusty now, so they're not really making or marketing music towards us anymore. So
absolutely not.
And I get that. So. Most of what I hear now, the new stuff, I'm just like, man, it's nowhere near the way it was at one point. So, yeah, man, 8Ball and
Southern rappers. Well, speaking of the South, I know you're probably going to talk about it, but everybody, I'm pretty sure Kevin going to talk about it. But Killer Mike is getting killed on the internet as of late.
Killer Mike is getting. I see him getting a lot of flack. I don't know. I know Killer Mike is pretty politically oriented and he speaks on politics a lot. I think right now he's battling with the Democrats, with Black Democrats. I've seen him make a statement on his perspective on our vote. And, there's an attack on the Black vote right now. If people don't know, there's an attack on the Black vote in which, they've gone and the Supreme Court has kind of went at they gutted the Voting Rights Act. And
fuck.
It's just been a struggle. I think that the Republicans have made it a mission to make it so that if you're not pro MAGA or pro Donald Trump, they want to make it hard for you to vote.
Yep.
And unfortunately, there hasn't been enough noise made from the people about this attack on the right to vote, and they've been successful in a lot of their endeavors. So I think it's going to come down to, because I think they kind of can forecast that when it comes time to vote in the midterms and in the next election, the presidential election, it's going to be an uphill battle for them. There's going to be a lot of anti-Trump. Like, there's no telling who the Democrats are going to put up to run against them, but that person has a great chance. They don't. They don't. They
Who
don't.
said they have a great
Yeah,
chance?
because there's a lot of people who are just up to here with the shenanigans, man.
Yeah,
And so,
he's not making a very good go of it, is he, Mr. Barnes? It's not going well for Mr. Trump. It's just not.
depends on who you ask. It depends on who you ask.
You ask Jeff. I don't even. He just bought a new car today. Like, this is.
Shout out to Jeff, man. Shout out
to Jeff.
Shout out to Jeff and all the black people who are over on that side of the aisle, who feel like they are intellectually superior to us. Like, they know something we don't know. And when you talk to them, what you get is a lot of regurgitated talking points. And it's kind of unfortunate because there's really never any kind of clear understanding. Like, as many times as if I've spoken to those people, I don't hear a point made that I'm like, you know what? I never thought about it like that. It's always pretty much like, I heard that before. That's bullshit. So it's a very tough time to be in America.
I feel like I never thought about it like that. Like, how the fuck can you think about it like that? I get that a lot.
Right. But
like,
that's
whoa.
That's usually not a positive, you know what I mean? That's not.
No, sir, it isn't. It's very negative.
Like, oh, that's some bullshit. Dion in the chat room, I see you. He said, man, I still listen to the Dayton Family. Yeah, man. Yeah, the Dayton Family had this song, Oxidol, and they put my name in it, and I got mad at them. I was like, why did they put my name in that damn song? You hoes could watch me out with Oxidol, but still couldn't fade me. I remember that back in the days. Sharita says, we used to be happy to put people on to new music discoveries. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And any of my homeboys will tell you, when you got my car back in the days, and this is when my brother rode with 30, 40 cassettes at a time. I didn't even have a CD player yet. I had the Snatch Out radio, and I had a cassette player. And more often than not, you were going to say, hey, who is this? And it's like, okay, because I would go, Audio Vibes was on Capitol. I would go to Audio Vibes 2-3 times a week. The new music came out on Tuesdays. So I'm normally in there 2-3 times a week getting something, talking to shout to Larry K. Miles, who used to be in there. And me and Larry used to talk about music a lot. And I was a Source guy. I used to read the Source magazine religiously. So I knew what was coming. I knew all the reviews. I was just into the shit. Like, I was really into hip hop back in the days. It was my music. So I can't find that kind of passion for it now. It's unfortunate.
No, you can't. You won't.
Dion says, this is why I told you that guy was dangerous Monday night. He's saying Dion's perspective is Chris is dangerous. And I guess it depends on how you classify danger. I don't feel like he's dangerous because he is MAGA or because he's a Trump supporter. I feel like he's misinformed. And I always say people who would listen to him talk and instantly be converted were already weak-minded in the first place. So he could have came and talked about Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. And if they're that weak-minded, their mind would have been gone. But who's to say? Sometimes, because when you hear somebody like that talk on this platform, there's counterpoints. So who's to say the counterpoint didn't get that person over the hump? Like, when you say it's dangerous, I'm always like, I don't know if it's dangerous. Like, I think that might be putting too much sauce on it. I don't know. But I'm not, not always right, but that's just how I feel.
Yeah.
Ewok said, I like to believe Killer Mike is saying things the wrong way, but then I have to realize he's too intelligent for that. So it leads me to believe he is purposely misleading black people. Somebody tell me what he said. Can somebody tell me what he said? I don't.
Oh, he said everything. Everything he said was true. Where he was talking about, the Voting Act getting gutted and everything. But people were like, "Where was your energy when Vice President Harris was running?" Because he shit on her a lot and he shit on her bad. Okay. And that's why people like me, I'll never forgive him. I don't like him personally, as far as his viewpoint. I don't know him personally, obviously, but I don't like his viewpoints. The shit he said about public schools and you a black person, you should send your kid to the school, the black school, and all this shit. I'm like, bro, my kids went to the best school that we could afford to send them to, and that's how it was. And all that talking that dumb shit, him and DJ Envy went back and forth on the Breakfast Club because I don't really watch the Breakfast Club, but I used to like Killer Mike. And when he was saying that dumb shit to Envy, I was like, oh no, I'm done fucking with this dude. I'm like, dude, he on one. And then when he was going to Harris, I'm like, dude, you doing the work for MAGA, bro. Stop. I tagged him in so much stuff like, stop, bro, stop. And he didn't. So then now fast forward, he's talking about the Voters' Right Act getting gutted and how bad it is or whatever. Like, Negro, where was your energy then? So they just like, fuck, dude, he a hypocrite. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Don't blame him.
I do have a caller on the line. Caller, who this?
This is Dion, man. Hey, what I was about to say, yeah, so basically what I was saying is when you have people, how can I state this? You know how you feel something and you can state it in your head, but verbally you want to verbalize it. So the black bourgeoisie, as y'all call them or whatever, but black people that are on the opposite side of the spectrum, like a Byron Donaldson or Tim, whatever, it's Tim Scott, and the list goes on and on and on. When you have those types, see, first of all, you have said it plenty of times, a lot of white people have not had a lot of interaction with blacks. A lot of white people have not had a lot of interaction with blacks. So when they see a few black people that, as we would say, made it, that gives them the idea that, oh, black people are doing okay. Black people are not struggling. Black people are not going through this. Black people are not going through that. You feel what I'm saying? Have people like the guy that was on Monday when they spitting that type of rhetoric, and I guess he believed it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But sometimes people just be saying stuff for clicks and likes or just to try to get on the winning team. But they look at things like, oh, well, black people are doing good. Look at what they're saying. You know, look at the Tim Scotts and the Byron Donaldsons and the, what's the other guy named Stephen A. Smith. Yeah, like the other day he said, I just wish all black people would just vote Republican.
Right.
And I think
just
a lot of people be failing to realize. What I think a lot of people be failing to realize is about black people as far as the Democratic Party is. They always try to use the Democrats is the one that has slavery. That but we go back and forth with that one though. You know what I'm saying? That's the old Dixiecrats. Because when Lyndon B. Johnson passed that civil rights bill, all them Democrats, it was the racist Democrats then, flipped over to Republicans. But what people fail to realize is it's about policy. That's just like when you go looking for a job. You're going to negotiate the best salary. You feel what I'm saying? You're going to do your research on the job. You're going to find out who got the best benefits, who got the best salary. Maybe like say for instance, like with me, I'd leave from a job because I don't have a big family. But a lot of people have family and they need those benefits. The pay might not be good, but the benefits are well. Some places you go, the pay might be excellent and the benefits is trash. That's the way with the Democrats and the Republicans. And the thing about it, as you've seen, I asked a clear, simple question. You could go back to, and they can't answer it. The Republicans have done nothing to benefit. We ain't going to even say black people, the American people. They have done nothing to benefit the American people. They have not made our life better. I'm hearing now that they're supposed to be having some type of constitution meeting. It's so much stuff going on, man. It's like, it's just crazy. It's crazy and it's insane and it's going to be detrimental. And like that night, Kevin, when we was texting each other back and forth and with Kamala and Dude and the presidency, that night, the United States the blue states should have succeeded. And that's what needs to happen. It's going to have to happen because these Republicans are not going to be beneficial to no one. Like they was, one guy was talking about it, like all these white people be doing this all goofy ass shit. That shit gonna backfire on their ass. They're gonna be like, well, what happened? This, that, and other, because there's a lot of poor white. You feel what I'm saying? And they benefit. That's just like when Jeff was like, well, my father was on security. A lot of poor whites benefit from a lot of these policies Democrats pass, but they swear up and down to God that, oh, it's just the black people and this, that, and the other, and woo, woo. So back to my original statement, when we hear black people putting that dangerous rhetoric out there, and like you said, a lot of white people don't have encounters with blacks. The ones that they do are having encounters with, making it seem like we don't need the Voting Rights Act and we don't need this, that, and the other. And you know what? Now that they've been talking about that Voting Rights Act, I remember when George Bush was in office, because they put a time limit on it. When George Bush was in office, they had to sign it over again. You know, back then, you know, I always been political, but I'm more office of Afrocentric shit, you know what I'm saying, like Black Power shit and that, as far as what I've been off into lately. But I remember vaguely that they was like, the voting, it's still a shame that every such and such the president got to come in and reenact the Voting Rights Act. I remember that too. I'm like, damn, that is crazy. So when and I think when they enacted that, they should have never put a time limit on it and just made it what it was, because they weren't able to touch it. But just like me and my guy was just talking, because I'm just getting off work, I'm sitting outside in my car. I feel like we should succeed. We should eliminate the Supreme Court, and we should eliminate senators. The country should damn near be like Africa or them other. We should just break up. There's no more United States. Each and every state is its own independent entity, and that's how we move, because these people are not beneficial to us. You feel what I'm saying? The Supreme Court, none of these senators, and damn sure the president ain't. But I'm about to mute you because I got to get my stuff about the car, and I don't want to have a lot of background noise.
It's cool. It's cool. I hear you. You got the right to your opinion. I want to go back to the chat room. Sharita Shaw says Jeff's type of people be acting like they are the voice of our people. I think you mean Chris, not Jeff. Jeff is a white guy, so we know he ain't the voice of our people.
He's super white.
She said we be like, listen to this. She's talking about how we used to do with the music. I would just be driving, so I'm just listening to my music. And brothers, my homeboys always, kid, what you rocking? Or they're going through my tape case looking and say, I already know you got something new. So it was always something. Sharita said, look at how many mics. Yeah. When you look in the source, you see how many mics the albums got as you're looking at the reviews. She said Killer Mike is the truth. She's talking to you. She said ENC Jordan, Killer Mike is the truth.
Hell no. That's why Malcolm X didn't like celebrities representing us. He say dumb shit a third of the time. Fuck dude. Yeah, he dumb as fuck.
Jeff Craig, what it do, man? We said, what's good, fam? What's up, Jeff, down in Texas, man? How you doing, man? Thanks for tuning in. In response to what Dion said, I don't believe we should secede. We think we need another civil war. And I'm one of those people where I'm not all that really concerned, with what white people think about us. So It's not about a white person who doesn't have a lot of exposure to us hearing someone like Chris or Killer Mike talking and forming an opinion about all of us, because to me, that person's ignorant anyways. How could one person represent that is, and I think Sharita said this in the chat room. A lot of celebrities come on, a lot of people who are known come on, like a Stephen A. Smith, and they assume this role of being the voice of the people. You are absolutely not the voice of the people.
Hell no. Especially not that Negro. No.
Black people come in, there's so much variety within the foundational Black American ranks. There's so much variation from opinions to some of us light-skinned and some of us dark-skinned, some of us light brown eyes and curly hair, and some of us are descendants from, Creole and it's all kinds of different flavors within our community. There's all kinds of different opinions and perspectives. We have a situation where there is the Black Boule. We do have a situation where there are Black people who are Black elitists, Black people who are economically viable, who feel like, okay, I'm successful. I got my money. I got a good job. I got me a house in the suburbs. Send my kids to suburban schools. They feel they have a different opinion and a different perspective than somebody who might live in the hood, right? Somebody who's a blue collar brother who's down here getting it out the trenches. So one person doesn't represent us. So I would say to anybody who heard one Black person talk and think that just because I'm Black, I'm go along to get along to go along with this Black person, I laugh in their face and say, you must be a complete fucking idiot to believe that one Black person can possibly listen. As in tune as I am with my people on a bunch of different levels, I do not pretend to speak for all of us.
Nah.
And what Stephen A. Smith said was Stephen A. Smith being Stephen A. Smith. Like, he's a tremendous talking head. This is what he does for a living.
He's good at it.
His job is to get reactions, clicks, likes, whatever, you know.
He say anything.
Listen, I mean, what he said was asinine about I wish that we could just all vote. Like, that's just stupid. Like, that's asking for groupthink. That's asking for all of us to say or do the same thing. I wish we all could just vote Republican one time. Why? And I know he tried to explain his point. He also came out and said something about a woman that's with him has to cook and all this kind of stuff. So it's like, just because what do we say? All skin folk ain't kinfolk, right? Just because you black and you got a microphone, don't mean you represent me. That's why I always say, speak for your motherfucking self. So it doesn't
nothing wrong if he want his wife to cook, though. I ain't gonna lie.
No, once again, I'm not against that. What he said.
No, I know you're not. I'm just saying, because when he said that, I'm like, he sounds super old school here, but then he sounds weird here. I'll be like, dude.
Because he always has something to say. That's his job, though. That's what he does for a living.
He's good at it, though.
He's earned. Listen, he's making $20 million a year.
Yeah, he's good at that shit.
Yeah, that's what he does. He is what we call a professional shit talker, and I wish I could get to that level. I wish somebody write me a check to talk. I will never shut up. Right? Like, it's
he the ultimate shit talker. Trump is a habitual line stepper. Like, so many different personalities.
Liar, right? She said, yes, Kev. That's Sarita Shaw. Ewok says Chris has convinced himself into thinking the majority of black people are beneath him. He honestly believes most of us are too stupid to understand him. That's his problem. He has to wake up and be Chris every day. We don't.
Everybody hates Chris.
What it do, Mike? What's going on, man? He said, what up, Outlaws? How you doing, Mikey? That's my family right there, man.
What up?
Good, buddy. Listen, when somebody like Chris is speaking, there is a sense of that aloofness, and I do feel like people in his perspective feel like intellectually they are of a higher quality or a higher grade than most of us. That's fine, though. That's fine. Like, because if you don't believe in yourself, who's gonna believe in you?
Exactly.
So if he feels like, yo, yeah, I'm intellectually, empowered. Okay, more power to you. It doesn't mean that I have to believe or accept what you say, right? It doesn't matter if you speak. You're the most articulate person in the world, and you can quote authors and all this kind of stuff. I'm gonna believe what I believe. I'm going to stand on what I stand on, right? So it does. I don't feel intimidated by it. I don't feel like, oh man, I gotta insult this dude because he don't see things the way I see them. Well, 9 times out of 10, he probably ain't stood in some of the places I've stood in. He's probably our life experiences are probably totally different, and that kind of shapes your opinion as well as your perception and your perspective. So it's no need for me to get upset. And that's why I say I don't think he's dangerous. I just think he's a brother with a different opinion. Absolutely. And the majority of the people who hear him talk, and I'm sure he would say this, a majority of common black people who would hear him talk would say, dude is a sellout. Dude is Uncle Tom. Dude is a coon. That's what, you know what I mean? They're, oh man, you Uncle Tom ass nigga. Like, that's how we go at each other.
Yeah.
So that's why I say he's not a danger, because most of us, despite popular belief,
black people see through that shit.
We're independent thinkers.
Yeah.
If you believe we're that weak-minded, where somebody can come along with a perspective that you don't agree with, and convince the masses, I think you're misinformed about where we are. Because like even the so-called increase of black Republican voters was minute. Like it was something like 6%.
Yeah,
85+% of black people still voted democratically.
93% of black women.
What does that tell you? So I mean, it tells you, and they have voted democratically for how long? Ever. Right? So and how many counter points have been made for us voting strictly for Democrats? Hold on, Dion. Hold on. Let me get back to my chat room. Sharia, she said cooking every day though. Yeah, but he's a millionaire. Stephen A. Smith is a multimillionaire, so you don't have to work. You don't have to work. See, I'm one of those brothers who believes, you should get a job right now. If you at the crib all day and I'm working, and you ain't working, it should be some hot on the stove. But if you got a career, you got a job, you working. No, I don't expect you to cook every day. I do expect you to cook though. I mean, I think one of the ways, what did my mom used to say? The way to a man's heart is through his stomach, right? Like most of us as men can really appreciate a woman who can cook. She has certain things that she cooks that you just absolutely love. Like, oh, I love when she cooked this, that, and the third. I think a woman should cook for her man. And if she has a family, I think she should cook because, first of all, there's something to be said about sitting the family down at the table and eating together and having those discussions and spending time with your family in that regard. I think that's an important component of having family. Ace, what it do, Ace? He said, what up, fellas? What's happening, Ace? What's going on with you, man? She said even people who have jobs have vacation days off and off days. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'd be lying to you if I said mine cooks every day.
No, you got leftovers. You don't got to.
Listen, I don't mind. Some days I'll cook. Listen, you feel me? Like But once again, I'm not a multimillionaire. If I was a multimillionaire and everybody was living off my dime, yeah, I would expect something. When I come in the house like this, I don't smell no food around this motherfucker.
That's exactly what he was saying too, actually. Speaking of that,
right.
I know I have a special request, and I did not ask you off air if your opinion on this, but it's not nothing weird. I have a friend. She listens to the show. She knows that you're married, and she's heard your perspective on things. She said, because I gave her my answer, I said, I'm gonna bring it up to Kevin. Okay. She was riding in the truck with her boyfriend. On the screen, text come up from a female. He instantly say, oh, I knew her from high school or whatever. She wasn't tripping on that. I guess she looked her up on Facebook and they not friends. And then 2 days later, they sitting watching TV. And to give you context, he'll talk and he'll text on the phone while she's sitting there. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what he's been doing forever. He got called the other day and he went up and got in the room. She said, Ian, I don't know if he went to the bathroom or not or whatever. I thought that was a little strange. And the final part is he usually be at her house, but he ended up not going over there that night. Do you think as a man, is he cheating? I said, well, with just taking notes for my sister with people that have had infidelity in a relationship, they usually change behaviors and habits. So my thing is, I say, hey, if it were me, I'd investigate more. But the answer is, I think so, personally.
I don't know because I don't know that brother. So I'm very, very hesitant to speak on somebody else's business. Right? I don't know. I don't know that brother. I don't know what he got going on. I don't know their relationship stat. I don't know what the tendencies are in their relationships.
Yep.
But I will say this.
You only get one side of it too from her.
If you got a phone, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna get a text from somebody. And it ain't always somebody who, like, sometimes you do receive a random text like, yo, hey, how you doing? I saw you on Facebook, whatever. So I don't know. It doesn't necessarily mean he's cheating, but I'm not gonna say he's not because I don't know him.
That's what I said. I was like, I don't know. He might be.
Could be. I don't know. That's their business.
I thought that was interesting.
Sharita Shaw said millionaires will get a chef a couple times a week. Yeah, but I mean, if you
thousandaires do that too.
And you sitting at the crib, put some hot dogs on or something. What the fuck?
He said some hot dogs.
I'm saying,
but you know what though?
Kerry Walker Jones said he cheating. So tell your girlfriend that. Kerry said he cheating. Point blank. He's cheating.
Yeah.
Go
ahead, Dion.
I'm gonna tell y'all how dangerous rhetoric is, since you said you don't believe the gentleman is dangerous. That white guy that was on the phone with us the other day, that motherfucker said that we were paying for trans surgeries in Argentina or somewhere in South America. I have never heard no shit like that before. See, that's what I'm saying right there, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a broader perspective than saying, oh well, just because a few woo 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 woo. No, these people actually be believing this goofy shit. The man said, that's just like when Donald Trump. Listen to what Donald Trump said. They're eating the dogs and cats. All of a sudden, everybody's thinking the dogs and cats. When have we heard anything else about the dogs and cats getting eaten? We ain't heard shit else since then. But see, they say this stupid shit. Ignorant, stupid, uneducated ass people gravitate to it, and then it's stuck. And all of a sudden, just like what they said with the illegals coming over here committing all these crimes. White people every day. I look on the internet in Mississippi and them southern states. You see a white woman will fuck the kid. A white man will rape this. A white man will have sex with a dog. They caught a white man with drugs. The white people, and I just go on there and be like, these white people something else. You know what I'm saying? But when they paint us as the face and the picture of crime, look at it, look at that. You feel what I'm saying, though? And then when you have black people that look like you and I that reinforce that narrative, it's danger. I'm about to put you on mute because I'm going to clean the dog shit up.
Once again, that's something we're not going to ever agree on. Like, I'm not saying that rhetoric or misinformation can't be dangerous in the right hands, but I don't think Chris has those hands. I don't see Chris's influence being big enough to really be dangerous to people. And as far as the statement about the trans surgeries or whatever, I've heard that. As a matter of fact, that was one of the talking points that Trump used. The Republicans used that clip from the Breakfast Club of Charlemagne and DJ Envy talking about that, and they issued a big statement saying, "Don't use our footage in your campaign."
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
because it's inaccurate, and it has something to do with inmates in jail, I guess, who were receiving surgery, hormones. And they were getting treatment, and the taxpayers' money was paying for it. But I mean, let's be honest. Is somebody blowing up a building because of that? Like, I don't like, if you say you want to run with that, right? So say you hear that and you say, I'm pissed off, Kevin. That's not right. I don't agree with that. The only thing you can really do is vote. I mean, I don't see that as being dangerous. Once again, I'm not denying the fact that sometimes misinformation or rhetoric, we look at what happened in Germany, where the notion that Jewish people were inferior, and all of the way Hitler and the Nazi Party used propaganda. But Hitler had influence.
Dehumanization.
He had a tremendous military force behind him.
Yep.
Chris doesn't have that. Okay. I mean, and most people already, when they turn on the computer or the phone, they already have their opinions. Right. Like, so, I just don't agree with that perspective. I think if you're misleading people or you're giving out misinformation, you need to be called on your bullshit. But I don't think you're a menace to society. And I certainly don't believe we should secede and go to civil war because, as black people who want to be Republicans. Like, I don't, it's fit to be tied. Like, I don't, people got the right. You say in this country, you have the right to your opinion. You have the right to free speech. And it's always people who want to say freedom of speech, but watch what you say. No, freedom of speech means just that. Whether somebody agrees with you or not, they have the right to their opinion. And so, a lot of times we get so caught up in our own beliefs that we want to tell other people that if they don't agree with us, that they full of shit.
Economic shit, brother. Economics. I think if we become more financially literate and we understand how laws get passed so motherfuckers could get what they need to get for our communities, I think it'll be better. And I think that really is the direction we need to go in, because we're not going to get shit with these political parties at all. Like, I think Trump was the best thing to ever happen because he showed you if people don't give a fuck, they really don't give a fuck, and they're going to do what they want to do at any time. He done enriched all of his friends, killed thousands of motherfuckers, said he would have people's back. All the pricing went up, which is intentional. You're going to have somebody to buy an airline for pennies on the dollar. Like, this shit is going great for them, dog. Straight up, straight down. I got a couple friends buying fucking $100,000 cars. Like, y'all motherfuckers, y'all are the only ones benefiting from this shit. I mean, you know what I'm saying? The rest of us that either build businesses or are part of a few businesses, if you know anything about your business and like Kevin, what you do and everything else, you pay so much in taxes. You pay so much with prices being up at the grocery store. Like to fuel all of our trucks and shit, that's thousands and thousands of dollars a month. That's why I got an electric fucking car. Like, it's wild, bro. Like, it's wild. Chris said, what up to y'all? He said he can't come on tonight. But
oh, good.
yeah,
I want to go back to the chat room.
Wild.
Kerry Walker Jones said they have to believe we are bad to feel good. Earl Henning said, fuck Donald Trump and his friends. Love my beautiful black sisters and brothers.
I love that.
Okay. And so yeah, I mean, Earl is proof that, you know, some people ain't falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Ewok says nobody thought Trump would actually become president, but his racist ass campaign led the way because he had a microphone and he used it. Well, because he had money.
I did. I predicted him winning.
A lot of people did. And he had money.
I knew he was going to win. Yeah.
He had money. He had notoriety. Once again, I said influence. He had influence. He was already a celebrity before he even ran for political office. He was a very known man, known individual in this country for years.
And America racist as hell.
Said woman with it. What you talking about, Earl? Woman with dick. What?
He talking about like the transgender shit.
Kerry said, I said that Trump was needed because Americans were becoming delusional on every level. We got a caller on the line from AZ. Is this Ace? Is this Ace on with us?
Baby, what's cracking, fellas? What's cracking with you?
What up, Ace? What it do, man?
Hey, it's all right, man. Hey, listen, check this out. Y'all, man, you know how you call me a conspiracy theorist, but I just think it's all an act, man. You know, I don't really believe in democracy no more. I think they'll put out whatever they want. I really think they work. You've heard me say this. I think they work with each other anyway. Yep. You know, it just depends on what their agenda is. Prime example, we just heard about the Southern Poverty Law Center. Did you not?
Yep, I heard about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, they funding the Klan. These are people that's supposed to be fighting racism. You know, this shit's happening with the NAACP, NAACP too. You know, and so basically, it's like a firefighter. You know, basically they're gonna set a fire just to put it out. You see, because it works. It works for them. It's chaos. You get what I'm saying? So it's based off their agenda. This shit is, man, listen, America is a stage, man. This shit ain't real. Shit ain't real. And we're under invasion. That's just what it is. You know, I can't get behind either one of these motherfuckers because they got us in a squeeze right now. You know, and the thing is, I can't remember the Judith something, whatever her name was at some kind of conference. And she said this 2 years ago. And these were them, I'm talking about them people again. Their biggest problem was going to be us. You know, and I'm trying to figure out at this time, like, how is that going to be how are we going to be their biggest problem? We don't own shit, we don't got shit. The problem is they know we going to fight. They know we going to fight. So truly, they're afraid of us. But at the same time, dude, we've been falling for the okie doke for the longest. It's just we got to understand what their agenda is. They spinning us. They're constantly spinning us. You know, and just like this shit with the Democrats, man. Listen, they're when they support something, they don't stand on it. They don't say nothing. They're supporting what this man is doing because you know what? They're all millionaires. They're millionaires. That's what this shit is about. Cheap labor, Kev. Cheap labor, tax cuts. You get what I'm saying?
The land grab.
What the agenda is. What's that?
The land grab. Like all of this shit, like with Israel, you know they're supposed to have the ceasefire with what's their faces. Yes. They just want the land. So they can build hotels 20 years from now. Like we all know this shit.
You know, they're behind both of these shit. I mean, basically they behind both of the parties. So I'm like, for me, that's what I realized. Dude, this shit, it doesn't matter who gets voted in.
That's why I'm buying property now, bro. That's why I'm buying property now. Go ahead and get some investment property. I can get shit. If you can buy, let's say hypothetically, you can get a house cash. Even if you can get a mobile home, just go buy some shit so you can own it because it's going to be worth money later. These people have made it to where you can have real life monopoly. It's wild to me that more people don't see through this shit.
Listen, it's going to take for us it's gonna have to be a revolt, man, for us to get this shit together.
Yeah, it is.
It's gonna get way worse than it is right now.
Let me go to the chat room.
It's finna get ugly.
Love for Mama Jenkins. I shouted her out in the beginning of the show. Here she is. Welcome back. I know you've been down under the weather, Mama Jenkins.
Praying.
She said, "Good evening, my Outlaw family. Let's make it do what it do. Milwaukee and these damn potholes are costing a lot of money for replacing tires and car repairs. Not to mention this raggedy ass leadership trying to protect downtown with getting a fence installed. Apartment buildings in the old Walmart space with a fun area for our children to hang out again." She said the church, Christian Faith Fellowship, want to build apartments that are on purpose to be high-end apartments. Yes. So I wanted to talk about, I don't want to get stuck on Trump because we get stuck on Trump.
Yeah, be on there all fucking night.
It's never going to stop. It's never going to stop because black people go back and forth.
But we just got to understand what it is, kid.
Hold on, Ace. Earl says, sell out black people to a con man Trump. Sharita Shaw says, both political parties are all working together with loud defense to distract the people. Yep. I think people with money tend to work together. Yeah. Sharina Lynette, she's putting up a TikTok. What is this you sending, Sharina? She says, hello, Outlaws. How you doing, Sharina? One of my former high school classmates. Or one of my fellow generals. We weren't classmates, but went to the same high school. Mama Jenkins says, what about that drunk bastard? He will be getting fired soon. Bottles of liquor with FBI badge.
Some cash money, y'all.
Earl Henning said, we're looking for them to change their ways, and it's not. And then she said, Sharina says, Kevin, did you see the video about city and county leaders made millionaires? I will send you the video. Okay.
Oh, yeah, she got to DM you that. Yeah.
Send it to me. I wanted to talk about this Walgreens. Another Walgreens. Walgreens has witnessed a downturn over the last few years. A lot of Walgreens have closed down. I know I grew up on 17th and Capitol, and for years, one of the staples of that community was Walgreens right on Teutonia and Capitol. I don't even know. I drive through there now. It's just gone. The one on out here where I'm at now on the northwest side on Appleton is gone. There's several Walgreens that were just Walgreens that we all just depended on, and they're closing. But the news for the latest is, and this is on 27th Street. And they're saying they are being closed. They're closing down because of safety concerns and continuous theft. Okay. So this is the excuse we heard when Pick and Save closed down. And we've heard several businesses over the years, even the Walmart, a couple of the Walmarts that have been shuttered over the years. The excuse has been, safety and theft. And so let's be honest. If we're going to talk, right? Because if you love people, if you love something, you're honest with it, right? Our people in a lot of these places, there is a lot of theft. There's a lot of crime. There's, it becomes a situation where the location is not safe. Let's be honest. Now, when these businesses start to say, you know what, enough of this shit, we're leaving. Okay.
Then it's fucked up.
It is bad. It is bad to have businesses leave your community. Yeah. And yeah, it's upsetting because those are resources.
Yes.
But at what point do we, as a people, stop with the bullshit? And I'm not, once again, I don't know if Walgreens is, I don't see their ability to procure millions of dollars a year by having their business in the community. I don't see them saying we don't like black people, so we're just gonna close our Walgreens there.
They take black money.
I think. Hold on, Ace. Hold on. Give me a second. I feel like some of the behaviors, because I've gone in Walmart, okay, and I used to, when I still stayed in the hood on 17th and Capitol, I call it the hood because it was my neighborhood I grew up in. I would go to Walmart on East Capitol. It was the ghettoest shit in the world. I don't know how many times, and my children were small then, I would have them with me, and I always had them under my watch on, because there was fights and all kinds of shit. And I used to have to make sure they get back. Let's get out the way. Let's move out the way. I mean, shit used to be all on the floor, shit opened on the shelves. Now, maybe it wasn't black people who did it. Maybe it wasn't. But I'm saying when we have businesses, when we have stores in our communities, look how many videos you see every day of a gas station or a store or a grocery store or a Walmart or a restaurant in the hood, a KFC, a Popeyes, where they're fighting. And I remember when the kids was rushing the stores like the gas stations, just taking what they want and then leaving out. Man, I don't know if you can remember this. This is just be like a bunch, 12, 13 kids come to a gas station, all go in at once, take what they want, run out the store. Right. So, and so I'm saying sometimes we got to take a look at us. Okay. Let's not give these places excuses to vacate our community. You should be able to go in a business and be safe in the parking lot. You should be able to go in there and not have, as an owner, I got to put 3 times the security in this store because they steal. Now, if you are in some of these underserved communities as a business, you know before you go, because you do all kinds of research and projections, you know that this is a high risk area. You should know going in, you're going to have to spend some extra money on security. So my point is, whose fault is this? Should we be mad at Walgreens, or should we be mad at the people on 27th and North who were shopping at the Walgreens? Who should we be mad at? I don't know. Sharina says, she said, I'll send it now and share with others. And she said she wanted me to share my thoughts on the next show. Okay. And then she told me that the Walgreens is on, I know it's on 27th and North. I've been in there many times. A sketchy location at best. I don't know why they want to close that goddamn gas station on 27th and Burleigh. That shit needs to be closed too. I don't know what's up with that shit. And then Earl Henning said, the people that work there are doing most of it. Okay, so Ace, you was trying to jump in there. Go ahead, bro.
Well, I'm just looking at it as a fact. I mean, listen, as a business, something like that, man, you always plan for shrinkage anyway. That shit's insured. You know what I'm saying? They're doing this all around the country in the hoods. They're moving up on, especially anything that's with a pharmacy. This is Project 2025, brother. This is exactly part of it. You know what I'm saying? They're going to move all them businesses out. You know, so to keep us from doing whatever it is we're doing, they don't want us to prosper. You know, and this is just part of that. That's just part of what they're doing right now. You know what I'm saying?
One thing I don't like to do is use because we live in some crazy, our communities deal with a real high level of poverty. But I don't want to use that as an excuse for people to live lawlessly. Right? Like, cause I don't, because there are people who are poor that don't steal. Right? Like, it's no excuse for you to act the ass because you are without. Right? Like, so yes, there's an agenda against us and I mean, we know that there's a lot of people or a lot of individuals or a lot of entities in this country that don't want us to be successful. But I don't look at Walgreens or Pick and Save saying, man, we're going to close this location because the overhead to run this business because of safety concerns and because of theft is becoming too great. I think one of the things, that's why you always hear me saying, if we want to really start to reduce crime, we got to attack poverty, right? Like poverty is a determining factor in a lot of crime, because I believe some of those people who are stealing out that Walgreens might be stealing out of necessity, or that some of those people who stealing food out of that Pick and Save might be hungry.
True.
So that's why I always say we got to attack poverty. Jarita Shaw's in the chat room saying, be mad at the elected officials. I don't know if we can blame them for Walgreens closing. Mama Jenkins said they closed 27 in Chicago within a year. I think it's bad management, and yes, it is a stealing issue, but a lot of these places don't want to hire 20 guards to protect one store. That's bad business.
It is bad business.
I mean, and we should understand that shouldn't be necessary. We got a Burger King on Capitol Drive sitting closed right now because of the level of crime, because of the safety issue at that Burger King.
I used to love that Burger King.
Well, I grew up. Come on, like I grew up going up and down Capitol on the bus, going to Capitol Court, whatever. And it's a shame that they have to close a restaurant, because even up to the point where the employees came up with a plan to rob the store themselves, and somebody was killed. Right, and those people look like us. They look like us. Earl said,
Yeah, I was about to say that's what happened with that Burger King, Kev. You know that.
Yeah, I know. Earl said
Yeah.
Walgreens made a lot of money in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. They absolutely did. Kerry Walker Jones is making a great point in the chat room. Everything on 27th and anything is dangerous. Okay.
Damn.
I ain't gonna lie. I pretty much feel like they're trying to gentrify the whole area. They're gonna gentrify the whole area anyway.
I feel like you feel though, bro.
But they're gonna drive the value of the properties down, and these motherfuckers gonna come in buying cheap. That's just what they're doing.
You know, the Midwest used to be damn near like the heartland, like Detroit, Chicago, Gary, Milwaukee, because we right there on the Great Lakes. You know what I'm saying? Iron. It was a hub. You know what I'm saying? Like Chicago got one of the most intricate railroad systems in the United States. You know what I'm saying? With the rail yards, and they had the slaughterhouses and stuff like this. Look at Milwaukee with A.O. Smith and things like that. So it is a plan to do it. You know what I'm saying? But like with Walgreens, I guess, you know, like that's, you know, like Walmart, you know, like with the Walmarts, the Walgreens. I mean, they're going to make it difficult, but see, the thing is, what they fail to realize is, this is like a house of roaches. When you tear it down, where the roaches are going to go? To other people's houses. So you're going to have people going out there to Sussex, Germantown, goddamn Oak Creek, South Milwaukee, Franklin. I just seen today on Facebook, I think that was at Walgreens, at Walmart on South 27, where the police chased the motherfucker up out of there and was trying to get him up out the car, and he ran into somebody's shit and just kept on going. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's dire, man. You know, there's so much stuff going on.
Where they had to fight in the Taco Bell.
That was in
Muskego, where the employees was fighting. It was in the Taco Bell, and somebody got the car and came in there, and they got to fighting. So that's, you know, Mama Jenkins said, if you notice, most of the Family Dollars are gone also. Yeah, the dollar stores had a downturn in business a couple years ago and closed a bunch of them. Yeah, that's true.
I hate them motherfuckers. I was glad they closed. The line could be out the store.
What I really want, I want people in the community to be accountable for their behavior. Because here we go. If you're worried about gentrification, all right, so every time you own some bullshit and there's bullshit going on in your neighborhood, you are helping to introduce gentrification to that area. You are an engineer of gentrification. If you know what it is.
I like that.
So if I can't come to your community and invest in the community, I can't build a business there because I'm scared, it's a safety issue, then the people in the community, because it's so dangerous, you're hurting your community. This is what I'm saying. We do a great job on calling all of the bullshit that happens to us in this country out, and justifiably so. We do a piss poor job of regulating ourselves. That's why I said the name of the show is About It or Without It. Do you want it or not? Do you want resources in your community? It's just like the kids who choose, and we still dealing with this truancy issue. And every time kids who are, and we're dealing with low scores, and with achievement gaps, kids who feel like, okay, I'm not going to go to school, or I'm going to go to school and I'm going to act a fool, I'm going to show my ass. You're hurting your community. You hurting the school system. You're doing it to yourself. That's why I say we can't blame white people for everything. Some of this stuff is self-inflicted wounds. But I get it. Once again, I get it. Poverty brings a whole new set of decision-making into the mantra. If you got to figure out if we're going to eat tomorrow or we're going to have somewhere to stay, you got a whole different set of choices to make. I get it.
A different life, bro. Yeah.
I get it. And it's dog eat dog in a lot of these communities, because what they are given is crumbs. And so you got a bunch of the poorest people in the city or in the area competing for the same crumbs. Yeah. So there's desperation. It's survival of the fittest. That's why I say you take a bunch of poor white people and put them in the same area, and you think white people don't commit crimes. You think it'll be straight. It'll be the craziest shit you ever seen in your life. That's why you got trailer parks in Appalachia and some places down in the South where you got inbred white people and
West Virginia.
West
But I'm gonna be
Virginia.
honest with you, Kev. They gonna do that anyway. If they have an agenda, if they want a spot, they gonna. If you don't make the chaos, they gonna create the chaos. You know how I know? Because I found out the shit that. And Dion, you might even know about this shit too. The Chicago situation when all the murders was happening. You notice all that shit was going on. That shit was happening on the. It was only happening. The most murders was happening on holidays and weekends. See, that's where your special forces come in. You see what I'm saying? These are special forces. Motherfuckers ain't got no. I mean, they got names, but they on the bar. So they paid mercenaries to come in and kill. And basically, these motherfuckers was coming in with with these masks that look. I mean, like black people. They look like real black people, man. And they was coming in blasting. And guess what was happening? We was getting the blame for killing our own self. And it was the gang members too. But it wasn't. This was your federal government doing this shit.
The purge.
Earl Henning said, "No job, no money, hard for the people." Yeah, I know, I get it.
I mean, at the end of the day, man, look, the body gonna try to survive one way or the other. You know, because I mean, if all the resources go, and I don't give a fuck if you black or white, you're gonna go out and get it the best way you can. You see what I'm saying? That's just what it is. But it's always easy for a motherfucker that's got, that's eating and bills is paid and all that shit to criticize that they ain't went through it. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
Yeah, but what about the people? What about the people who went through it?
Full of shit.
What about the people who went through it but worked until they got themselves into a better position?
Listen, I mean, I get it. There's exceptions to the rule, Kev. We are exceptions to the rule. But I mean, not everybody at the same time, Kev. Not everybody's gonna get the same opportunities that we did.
Okay, but there right now there needs to be a shift in the way we think, because we got to start to tell these people, because if we got our communities in the places that we need to have them, it's hard to invade those communities. If we got everything going the way it needs to go, it's hard for somebody else to come in and be a saboteur in our community, because they stand out and we'd see them. The fact of the matter is you got a lot of the people in the community doing dirt, so somebody can sneak in and do dirt with them, and that's why they didn't know no better, because they was all doing the same goddamn thing. So
what I'm saying, and I get that, kid, but you got to understand, they do these tests. Trust me, you ain't never seen these mouse tests that they do and see how a mouse is going to act if they put them all in one area and they don't give them a food. They know exactly what they're doing, man. I mean, granted, it's us, but it's designed too. You know what I'm saying? And some of us ain't got the will to resist.
I love how we can call out all of this shit, but we can't stand against it. We have a tremendous ability. We have a tremendous ability to tell people what's going on and talk about what's against us and talk about how they initiate these kinds of things on purpose. But we do a piss poor job of standing against it. I'm just scrolling through social media today. I'm seeing, because the weather's changing in the mill, I'm seeing fights in the street, large groups of young people out in the streets fighting, just throwing them. And these are young people who, for the most part, a lot of them are unruly. This is what they want in their community. They consider that lit. Like, man, I live over here, man. It be lit over here. We celebrate the wrong shit. We don't stand.
You're absolutely right.
And hold on, there's no adults who could come out these houses a lot of times and break this shit up without running the risk of getting their ass touched up. Because a lot of times if they do, those kids' families will come. Don't put your hands on my kid. You don't do that to my baby. So a lot of this shit is just counterproductive mental processing. And if we don't switch it, because we've been dealing with the same shit forever, when is the change in the way we process going to come? I'm waiting on us collectively to start making changes. I don't see us making the right changes collectively. We get more enjoyment out of arguing. Like, black people love to argue. Let's be honest. We love a good ass argument. And then when there's some drama, motherfuckers gather around with their phone out. We love drama.
We do. Yes, we do. Because today, right, I'm going to tell you how black people is. So y'all know that I work at a school. So, the lady going to tell a child. So I sub at different schools. So the lady going to tell a child to come tell me to open a library. I'm not listening. First of all, I'm talking to one of the contractors. Me and him in a conversation. The child rude, little black motherfucker, rude. Instead of coming and saying, excuse me, but then also that's the word of a child. So I allow this child to tell me to dictate what I do, to go open the library or whatever. Then something happens because, you know, they make up lies and something happens. Now I'm down there at central office with my motherfucking job on the line. So he go back and tell the old bulldogging ass looking lady, he come back, want to be confrontational or argumentative. Bitch, first of all, you should have known not to send a child to do no shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? But you want to go back and forth with me, so I nip the shit in the bud. I call the principal. Hey, listen. Oh, girl, woo out the damn blouse. Like, Skippy, you know what I'm saying? I ain't saying I don't fuck with kids, but I don't interact with kids like that because they train us not to interact with kids. And also, kids can lie and say anything. And I'm going to tell the principal that tomorrow when I say, I'm like, I don't interact with children and try to have minimum interaction with them as possible because they can make up and fabricate a lie. And then I'm down here fighting for my life and whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that lady should have never sent that child to do that from the jump. And it wouldn't even been no tension, no frustration, no nothing like that. But see, it's so easy for shit to go left. You feel what I'm saying? So yes, black people, we are very confrontational, argumentative. You know what I'm saying? I love my black people, man. I do, man. But we some silly, stupid, ignorant motherfuckers, though. I ain't gonna lie about that, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just like yesterday. I'm at the gas station, right? I'm at the gas station, and dude really just looking at me. You know what I'm saying? And like, he looking at me. He wasn't looking at me like, what up, player? He just, like, you know, I know he had it on him, but why you, nigga, I'm in a whole uniform. And one day I was in Chicago and I was sitting out talking about people. And I said, what's fucked up about the mentality that you got to have in this day and age? You have to be more savage than the next person. You feel what I'm saying? So you could simply just go to the store. You could be going to Woodman's to go get some bananas and end up with a quadruple homicide because you ain't got into it with some motherfuckers. The shit on one left, and you got to defend yourself. Now you telling her, honey, bring me 10 bands. I'm about to go on a run and woo woo because you ain't got into it with one of these ignorant motherfuckers out here. You know what I'm saying? And it's just sad though. So it's a lot of chemistry in our community just making shit go astray. That's just like yesterday I put on Facebook. I'm seeing niggas out here celebrate Cinco de Mayo. You stupid, ignorant motherfuckers. Ain't no Mexican celebrating Black History Month. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like Mexicans or white people. I don't give a fuck. Now, you know, like they say, well, all white people are bad. All dogs don't bite. You see my dog, and I be like, well, she don't bite. Well, you got to prove that. So maybe there's some good white people, maybe there's some good Mexicans out there. But when I see them, I give them a skull and bones. You know what I'm saying? But how can you take a people seriously when we're celebrating other ethnic cultures' festivity? Don't know nothing about it. That's why I was so adamant and angry when we was talking about that 420 shit, because that's Hitler's birthday. That's the day them boys want to shot up Columbine. It's a lot of shit that comes along with that 420, but we try to choose it and turn something around on it. That's just like it's gonna be the United States 250th birthday. So we're gonna celebrate July 4th, 1776, and we were still in bondage. We were still in slavery. It was all type of shit going on, but this is the thing. Well, that's the time that, you know, we can spend with our families. Listen, spend another day with your family. That's just like when we always be getting into it about the Christmas
you don't
shit.
get the right to tell somebody that. You don't.
Let's do something.
No, you don't. See, that's because if I have a day off work and I want to spend that day with my family, once again, you don't get the right to dictate what I do with my PTO or what I do with my family. Once again, I'm giving you the answer. I mean, you're right, but because the reality of it is it really ain't your business. What I'm doing over in my yard with my barbecue grill, with shit, I can pick any given day and say I'm gonna take today off and work.
Exactly.
And it could be whatever. So the 4th of July is just another day. You don't get the right to tell people what to do and when to do it and how to do it. That's one thing that makes America great. So
I don't think celebrating our demise is a good thing. I'm about to warm you up some food.
That's your opinion. That is I'm sure there's things you do that a lot of people would disagree with. Right? Like, because there's a lot of people who don't like dogs. You love dogs, right? Like, you had snakes and shit. I would never have no snake in my house, but I wouldn't look at you and say, fuck, dude, he got a snake. Like, I mean, you got the right to do what you want to do. You're a fully grown, consenting adult. Serena says cleaning your house. She said cleaning house time. Too much money to be made here, and the monkeys messing up the beauty of this city. Think about the masses of water we have and the opportunity for investors to come here and make money. But now you seeing who are behind all these new developments. Not many of us, like you said, you got to want it. Sharita Shaw said a lot of nepotism going on, and it should be. Hell, if I get position in life, I should be able to bless my seeds with something. That's just my opinion.
Oh,
Earl
yeah.
Henning said, put your boots on and get it together. Earl Henning said, a kid doing her job. I never know where I be losing Earl, and it's sad because I know he be trying to make good points. Kerry Walker said it be some good food going around on July 4th now. Come on. Oh, yes. Earl says, so who's not going to eat barbecue on the 4th of July? A lot of people like Dion, who don't believe that is a valid reason to celebrate or cook. It's people who get mad about Thanksgiving and Christmas. There's people who get mad about Black History Month. A couple years ago, we had somebody get really pissed. And it was somebody who had been on the show. We was rocking with them. We was supporting their families' crusade for justice, and it was a dope thing. And we were celebrating Black History Month, and that person got mad. I'm talking about mad. I mean, called me all kinds of coons and Uncle Toms, all on Facebook, dissed the show, dissed Outlaw Radio. I was like, whoa, just because I like Black History Month? Like, I acknowledged it, and they was like, yeah, we ain't waiting on no white person to tell us when we could celebrate. I was like, oh, okay. But the fact remained, it didn't change. It ain't none of your business. I got the right to celebrate however, whenever, and whatever I want. Right? I'm not celebrating Cinco de Mayo or St. Patrick's Day.
That's how we ain't gonna be on one accord. That's what it's always gonna. Because I ain't gonna lie, if it came down to shit like that, and it's people that want to celebrate those white man holidays, I love you.
You're wrong because if we want to be on the same accord, if we all could say, do you? If you want to celebrate the holiday, celebrate it. That's one accord. It don't have to be divisive. If you just say, nah, if he want to barbecue, let him barbecue. I ain't got to say nothing. I ain't got to say no foul shit about the person. I don't, oh, you sell out ass nigga. Like it's that's being on the same accord too. It don't always got to be telling somebody what to do and they got to do what you say. Sometimes letting people be themselves is being on the same accord. Saying if they want barbecue, okay, let them have barbecue. If they want dogs, let them have dogs. If they want snakes, let them have snakes. I'm not going to tell you can't come to the meeting because you got a dog or because you got a snake. I'm just saying, like, that's being on one accord too. Now, there are certain things, if it comes down to it, like, you know, taking care of kids or making sure that the community is safe. And if this person say, no, I don't want to do that, then yeah, now you kind of productive. But we're talking about something like holidays. We're talking about something as minute as people picking and choosing what to celebrate. Like, it's just crazy.
It's not minute, though. It's not.
It's minute if you telling me I can't barbecue for my family on the 4th of July. It is minute.
This is what,
just because
I'm about to tell you why I feel so.
But that's all you, though. It's all your opinion.
Well, hold on. Okay, I hear it's my opinion. I'm about to tell you.
It doesn't make it gospel. Hold on. Let me get to the chat room. Hold on. Let me go to the chat room.
I'm going to tell you why I'm against.
I got a lot of people in here. You just told us why. You told every year you tell me the same thing. Sharita says we'll never be on the same accord. And good. Okay. This is Ewalk in the chat room. He says, my birthday, July 6th, the 4th of July fucked up my birthday money for 53 years, but there was still plenty of the leftovers, plenty ribs leftovers. He said, it is what it is. I hear you, Ewalk. It is what it is, man. I see you recognize the positive out of it. So like, it's plenty ribs left over, right? Serena says she's in the chat room. She said black folks just want to celebrate, eat, and be merry. Some people don't see their family until those holidays. Earl, you right. I like tacos. He said I do like tacos. I like tacos, but I don't eat tacos specifically because it's Cinco de Mayo. Now, I do happen to agree with Dion on the fact that it is counterproductive to celebrate cultural or ethnic groups. To me, it's counterproductive to celebrate their holidays when they don't give a shit about ours. To me, that doesn't make sense, but I still respect their person's right to do what it is that they want to do. So I'm not going, if you want to be St. Patrick's Day, you want to do that, that's on you. I mean, I'm not going to do it. and I'm not gonna partake in your celebration. Kerry Walker Jones said, Dion, you ain't never got a free plate on the 4th. Mama Jenkins in the chat room says, KB, I grew up in this city and these motherfuckers don't care about their community that they live in like we did. If you go over in Brewer Hill and look who's living over there and all the new $300,000 plus homes that's there that they now own. She said, and knowing that our people sold and moved away, crime is down in that area. And our problem in this city is there's no economic development. Yeah, attack poverty. I said that.
There's no economic education either. And that's part of the problem. If people were more financially literate, we wouldn't have these issues. Like when I started learning how money actually works, I started surrounding myself with people that know how money actually works and things like that, regardless of his political opinions. Like Jeff has actually he schooled me on some investment shit. So it's kind of like, I just look at it like, dude, it's just crazy. The more we know financially, man, the better off we would be. But it's just sad, Kev.
Me?
It is. Well, no. I was talking to my son.
Anytime there's a loophole, they're going to close that shit. Once we figure it out. They're taking advantage of all the loopholes. Once we catch up, that's when they close it.
Yep. All my friends know about the loopholes. All my white friends, definitely. They know about every loophole you can think of. And a few of my black friends, too, they know about all that, too. Because Floyd Mayweather said something that was real poignant.
Might not want to use Floyd. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you so crazy. He said, well, y'all want to just hang around, and it's cool to hang around, but I want to know what you know. I don't think he literally took that into account when he was making his own financial choices. Hey, Mr. Barnes, it doesn't seem that way. And he is, like Trump, also having a pretty bad go of it. And when I saw him on Fox, because everybody that knows me knows that he is my all-time favorite boxer because of the technician, because of his skill set, because of his punch placement and punch accuracy and CompuBox numbers. He's clearly on paper the best boxer of all time. That's not arguable. But what is crazy is when he got on Fox talking about President Trump, and you know how he talks, he's like, Trump is the best president in my life. I'm like, I'm like, Negro, what are you talking about? I'm like, what are you saying to the public? I'm like, what?
You know what? We're talking about money, and so you've seen that the latest.
You didn't see him over in Israel?
Hold on, Ace.
He went over to Israel. He went over to Israel saying that he's always going to support Israel.
I saw that.
Well, he's done a lot of things that quote unquote Negroes with money, but he's also having money problems now allegedly. So But the latest talk is why, because we were talking about this Monday night.
Yeah,
Spirit Airlines closing down, and we were talking about Trump's role in the cost of jet fuel. So now the discussion is why aren't black people getting together buying Spirit Airlines? Now, I will say this, and so I'm making this connection because now I'm gonna go Dion on y'all right now. I'm gonna go Dion on y'all.
He's warning us.
All right. When I see some shit like the Met Gala, right? And I see our black celebrities, participating in shit like this, and with all of this money spent on a costume, because people don't know the Met Gala is really just a glorified costume party for rich people.
Fashion show,
disabled person on it,
and it's supposed to be raising money for the arts.
Okay,
but there was a call because of Jeff Bezos and some of the controversial way that Amazon employees are treated. I seen that Taraji P. Henson and Jennifer Lewis, who is a celebrity, was looking and seeing all of these Negro celebrities who were just there on the red carpet with their couture and their costumes on, and they were saying, how is it that you Negroes still want to show up and be at these events? But I think black celebrities have always been kind of like a chink in our armor, because a lot of them, we support their come up, but then when they get to a certain point, they don't want to be with us in any shape, form, or fashion anymore. It's like a lot of celebrities, Michael Jackson being one of them. When the Jackson 5 was first coming up, and they first getting into the business, you catch them on Soul Train, right? You catch them at the Soul Train Awards, but then when they got to a certain level, they don't appear on Soul Train anymore. They don't come to the Soul Train Awards. You got some rappers like that, like where they're on the chitlin circuit, I guess they consider that while they're coming up. Then when they get to a certain level of success, Snoop is one of them. They get a certain level of success. Now you don't see them unless it's a big white platform, right? Every time I see the Met Gala and I see black celebrities there, I've always said, like, why do we break our necks? White ice is colder. Now, we got more black millionaires and billionaires than we've ever had in the history of our people in this country. If we are really concerned about Spirit Airlines closing, why didn't a group of these black billionaires get together and say, we'll buy this shit? Or start their own airline? Like, why don't you see large scale retail operations being started by these black billionaires, right? I'm not talking about Starbucks, so please don't say Magic D is Starbucks. I'm not talking about that kind of shit. I'm saying we're upset because a Walmart is closed in our community. When you got Oprah Winfrey, who's from Milwaukee, who lived in Milwaukee, okay?
Right,
she's friends with every celebrity in the book. How come these people haven't come and said, you know what, let's take our money and really invest in these black communities? They don't, because they too busy spending money with French and Italian designers so they can wear a fucking costume to the Met Gala. So a lot of this,
with pedophiles.
That too. A lot of the celebrities that we have right now that we look up to, I think we should stop supporting a lot of them, man.
Stop fucking with them.
Because they break their necks to show up with white people and don't give a shit about what's going on in our community. The level of poverty going on because you got a lot of them who will say, I'm gonna build a school in Africa. What the hell? The public school system here in America is jacked up. I'm gonna build a school in Africa. Right? Like it's just like, you know, it's once again, we don't stand with us. We don't circle the wagons. We are very, very poorly when it comes to solidarity in this country. We are very, very poor in terms of establishing solidarity, because the mistake becomes a lot of them want you to be exactly like them, or they're not going to support you. Like, they're not going to support free thinkers. They're not going to support independent ideology. It's like a plantation all over again. It's once again what Brother Malcolm said: field niggas and house niggas. It's just that kind of thing. Like, it's those kinds of slaves. Serena said, share the wealth, red, black, yellow, and green. Teach me. Okay.
I'm gonna be
Hey, she sent me a video. It's really good. I'll share it on my page. It was actually really good. Political homelessness.
You know, a lot. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dion. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead, Ace. You got the floor.
No, it said that a lot of these celebrities have crossed over, man. And when I say that, they're crossed over to Freemasonry, man. They're not allowed to hang. They're not even allowed to help their community. Look at all of the millionaires and billionaires we got in the entertainment business alone. But they're not representing us. The minute they start helping us, they're gonna get their fortune taken. You see what I'm saying? That's just what it is, you know. And as far as that school over in Africa, you know what she's been accused of over there, right?
Oh yeah.
They're all a part of this crap, man. So right. I mean, just because they look like us don't mean they us. All skin folk ain't kid folk. Them people are sold their soul. That's why they ain't helping us. If you ain't grassroots, they ain't fucking with you. I mean, if you ain't grassroots, them people ain't fucking with you. You know what I'm saying? It's just where the real money is. And I hate to say this, the farther you go up, the more money you see, the more evil you're gonna see. Them is the most evil motherfuckers in the world. The billionaires.
Yeah, but I get where I get frustrated is that this is something we do. We get mad at white people and call them everything except for a child of God. We put more trouble and more energy into calling them out than we do calling our own celebrities out, calling our own people out. So
see, the thing with that, you get caught me in a minute because people don't misunderstood me. The minute you hear something, we can't even criticize our own people. The minute you hear something that goes against us, now we are selling. You know, and I'm like,
hold on, Ace. So this is why when you encounter a brother like Chris, you can't say, oh, he's dangerous because of what he's going off on his own, being an independent thinker. Now, unfortunately, he's bought into some MAGA and Republican rhetoric, but he's saying something that's opposite of what the average person is selling in our community, right? He's selling something that's opposite of what the Democratic shills are selling to us. But like you said, when you say something different, you a sellout. You ain't shit. You a coon. Don't listen to him. And if we say something different than what he's saying, then you're uninformed. You're not educated. You don't know what's going on. So we got this thing that it's always something that's preventing us from being together. And I always say black people argue about the argument. Black people get into an argument and then argue about what they was arguing about. That motherfucker don't know what he's talking about. That ain't what I was mad over. Like we get into an argument about the argument, man. We just got to do a better job. We got to find some way. To get together. It's a cliche at this point. We have to find some way for us to get some semblance of solidarity in this country. It has to happen.
And that's what the problem is. The minute we do, they're going to come back. That's what they're going to try to sabotage. But the next time we do it, we already know what they're going to do. So it shouldn't be no more excuses. At this point, right.
So when we build these networks, let's insulate the network. If white people are going to pull their support, and we'll pull ours for them because we support a lot of their bullshit too. So if that's the way you want to play us, but also I think these black celebrities have to accept, okay, I'm probably going to lose some white support, but I'm standing for my people. So that's going to ramp my support up amongst us. It just becomes a situation where our support is not good enough anymore.
That's like what Denzel did.
If you're an R&B singer and you go platinum, your label is telling you need a pop hit. No, rarely do you say, I'm not worried about pop, man. I'm not, Frankie Beverly and Maze is legendary in our community as far as R&B goes. The average white music fan don't even know who they were because they didn't really have a crossover pop hit, right?
Oh, it's funny you say that, Kev. And really quick, I was going to Walmart and I was going to just get a couple things or whatever, and I was blasting doom, 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 doom. Young white man was like, oh my God, I always listen to that with my dad. Who is that? He had no idea who the group was. I said, it's Frankie Beverly and Maze. He was like, the people that made Joy and Pain. Dude, he didn't know what it was, but when he heard it, he knew what it was. So it goes to your point. They never had a crossover hit like that, but a lot of people did know who they were. Yeah, man, that's yes, very good point, dude.
Well, because and I didn't see Frankie Beverly and Maze really make an effort to, hey, let's do a song with the Rolling Stones. Let's try to get this crossover hit. It was cool enough because they could tour. I was listening to Donnie Simpson talk about how big they were overseas.
Yeah, they made millions.
Frankie Beverly was telling him, I need you to come to Europe with us. And he said he went over there and he said it was insane. He said they were bigger than the Beatles when it came to how big they were overseas. So, but the R&B money was good enough. It wasn't no need to chase the chicken when you already good when you already have it from the people. Like and our love is good enough. So let me go to the chat room. Mama Jenkins said we as black people knew the value of a dollar simply because we never had money. We lived from paycheck to paycheck. My parents squeezed the dollar until it turned colors. So in today, some would have invested and done well, but as the old folks say, those niggas have forgotten where they came from. Look at most of our HBCs. The ones I have visited need lots of improvement, and we got lots of black millionaires that came out of their schools, my opinion only. Earl Henning said, we are losing and we don't know how to win. Well, my mama used to always tell me, it was funny, and she used to say, this is the thing about being raised by old parents. A lot of times they would tell me shit, and I didn't know what they was talking about, right? And like my mom would always say, my only problem is with black people is niggas know the price of everything, but don't know the value of shit. And I never understood what that meant until I got to be an adult, right? Like, and I was like, okay, I get what she would be saying, because we would be jumping on trends, frivolous trends, right? Because like even our hip hop community, at one point we put how much money in a big fake ass or even hollow ass gold chains, right? That we talking about investing in gold, and gold is on the stock market. Nobody was saying buy gold bullion or buy gold bars. We was giving how much money to some other culture to make us hollow ass chains with gun medallions and shit like that. So, and if you seen somebody with
Milwaukee Mall,
when you seen somebody with it, you said, "Oh man, he must be a baller," because that costs a lot of money. So we knew the price of it, but we didn't know the value of it. We didn't know what gold was selling for on the stock market, and everybody else was just kind of looking at us like, "What's wrong with this motherfucker?" Right? Like it's always knowing the price, but not knowing the value. I do got another caller on the line. I believe this is Ewok. Ewok, what it do, man?
What's going on, man? Good evening, fellas, everybody on all that radio. I just got a question, man. What possesses? What type of fucking voodoo is this where, you know what I'm saying, a black man don't understand the difference between thinking outside of the box and degrading themselves? You know, you're sitting here and you are intentionally degrading yourself and you're making excuses for your own oppression and shit. And these people are doing things to you right in front of your face. They're taking away your history. You see it. You're watching this happen. You're watching them try to take down stuff. They're taking away the Tuskegee Airman's accomplishments. They're taking away monuments. They're taking away this and everything that has to do with Black history. They're purposely doing it right in front of your face. And then your black ass still will sit here and shuffle. That's not just them having their own opinion. Something is wrong with that individual. That person does not understand who they are, where they come from, and they don't get the fact that they not like them.
Well, once again, I think it depends on what your perspective is, because if I don't give a shit, it is, because if I don't give a shit about the Tuskegee Airmen, why do I care if somebody is discrediting them? There's some black people who say, I don't give a shit about that. Like, you have black people who say, well, that was a long time ago. That has no bearings on today.
I've heard that shit.
It's history.
If
it's something that was done, great.
If that's not something they value, but if that's not something they value, Ewok, how can you expect them to care about it? Like, I don't know that if it's a sickness. I think it's like some shit people can bring up to me that I don't give a shit about, right? Like, because I tell people this all the time. I went to historically white colleges, universities. I went to HWCUs, right? So when I see people big up in HBCUs, I don't give a shit about it. I don't give a shit about HBCUs. They never offered me anything. Matter of fact, I wanted to go to Hampton. They dissed me.
It's the whole.
Let me finish.
The whole thing, though. I just use the Tuskegee Airman as an example.
I know, but let me finish. Even knowing that a lot of the HBCUs were set up by Nelson Rockefeller's wife. Right, by Carnegie, by a lot of these rich, they have white benefactors. By the fact that what happened at Tuskegee, the Tuskegee experiments, right, that happened right there, and they knew about it. So when I say I don't give a shit about HBCUs like that, there's some people who might look at me and say, "Oh, what kind of nigga is you?" I'm a nigga who don't care about HBCUs. That's like, it's size for a different world.
It becomes corny. It becomes systemic when you put all of these things together. When you add them all up into the equation, and they're doing all of this shit, that makes it systemic. And, you can't just look at one thing. No, we have to put it all together as a whole. And as a whole, it's meant to do one thing. It's meant to destroy you. It's meant to take away from you. So you better start giving a fuck about the systemic part at least. You know what I'm saying? They're doing it, and it's as a whole, it's fucked up. And you sitting here watching them do it, and then you pretend like they're not doing it. What type of man is that? That ain't no fucking man. You letting them do shit. You letting them piss in your face. You a pussified ass no fucking nigga, man. If you ask me, I don't give a fuck who think about it differently. That's pussified nigga shit.
So sitting around. Hey, Ewok, let me ask you a question while you're doing that. Well, because I get you, but I tell you what. Tell us how to fight the power there. That's what it is. How do we go about doing it?
How we go about doing it is first we have to recognize what are the issues, and there's a whole lot of them. But the first thing you have to do is recognize it instead of bullshitting like it don't exist. If you sit around and act like it don't exist, then that's a non-starter. That means you ain't going nowhere. At least acknowledge what the fuck is being done to you. Then you start, you know what I'm saying? You start your step-by-step philosophies and programs. And, you can't just do it by yourself. You're going to need some help. So somebody got to get together. Ain't no one person, ain't no one messiah going to do this shit by themselves.
I agree. For every point, there's a counterpoint. So there's enough, right? And if you, as an individual, are trying to figure out where you stand, because we have freedom of speech, supposedly, there's enough opinions being expressed where you can find, if I say right, somebody else is going to say left. In between that is what you go and figure out for yourself. That's why I always say on Outlaw Radio, I don't attempt to try and tell people what to think or how to think. I just try to tell them to think. Research the researcher. And if you start to study research, I've studied what research is, okay? And if you start to study what research is, you start to understand that there's many different ways you can research an issue. There's from a numerical perspective, from a literary perspective. So it's quantitative versus qualitative. There's different ways to approach research. A lot of people don't know how to research. And also, if you're researching, you need to remove your own personal bias. Are you looking for the answer, or are you looking for what you want the answer to be? So when I see somebody who's spouting, and I'm using the brother Chris. I'm using the brother Chris as an example because he is the latest example on Outlaw Radio, because y'all gave Orlando purity hell. And shout out to my Outlaw Radio family, because we didn't handle Chris like that. They didn't, and it's the same ideology. Both Trump supporters, both said this, had the same talking points. Both black Republicans, conservative Republicans, and the audience. My audience was way more, and I could feel a lot of y'all wanted to go there, right? I could tell there was a lot of people who felt a certain kind of way about how the brother spoke and what his perspective was. But you get nowhere like that. Let that man do what it is that he does. Somebody said, well, how do you combat that? You do what he did. You take your beliefs, you take your morals, you take your principles, and you build on them. Success is the greatest form of revenge ever. Success is the greatest form of, if somebody shits on you, nothing's going to hurt them like you doing what you do, sticking to your guns and becoming successful at it. So
I didn't want to go there. I called the man pitiful, and I still stand on it. That's pitiful, because I don't like this. I don't like to see no motherfucking man sit there and then make excuses. Obviously, you can tell when somebody has some form of intelligence.
What up, Erica?
When you're sitting there, if you sitting there and you purposefully tap dancing around logical questions, so it can always lead back to what the fuck you believe in, you need to be called out, because we know you're sitting here with this hidden agenda, and no matter what somebody says that makes sense, you're going to go back to the same old talking points and shit and that bullshit garbage that you're spewing. And you know what I'm saying? You're purposefully doing it. I'm not going to let you do it on purpose, not in my sight.
I mean, too, some motherfuckers just misinformed. They think they know, but they don't know. You know what I'm saying? Just because you make some money some kind of way, don't make it the right. You ever heard? We don't all heard of all money ain't good money. You get what I'm saying? I would never sell my people short. But
they smart enough to get the money. But they smart enough to get the money. That means that they don't lack in intelligence. That means that they're doing it on purpose. You know what I'm saying? They do it on purpose.
The value is the money. That's what I'm talking to. The value, I can tell you like this. One way we start winning is, number one, obviously we need some money. But we have to take so much value off of it and put it into our community, each other. Do you get what I'm saying?
No doubt. I got you 100.
Number one, stop him, what Dion was just talking about. He was in the store or whatnot, and niggas immediately look at him like an enemy. But until we do that, we got to stop that shit. And then if we see a motherfucker doing good, the minute you see another motherfucker doing good and somebody else saying, oh, who the fuck do he think he is?
They was looking at Dion. They was looking at Dion like food. They was looking at Dion like he was a lick.
That's the problem, man. What I call it, it's that Willie Lynch syndrome bullshit. Just because you see a brother making some move, go ask him what he doing and get in on it. You know what I'm saying? But until we do that, we always gonna be fucked. We gonna be in this crab ass bullshit.
No doubt. Mama
Jenkins in the chat room. She says, "I understand exactly what you mean. That's why I never followed the group of ignorant people. It would definitely screw you up." She said, "Speak truth, but you got to know where you're at in life and make wise decisions that you will benefit from." Earl Henning, my brother, says, "Fuck all ass kissing black people."
Exactly. That's my point right there. That's the fuck what I'm saying.
I'm gonna tell you.
He just texted me. He said, "What they say, man? I'm triggered."
Who, Chris?
Yeah.
They don't deserve no pass. They don't deserve no pass, man. They doing that shit on purpose.
Well, I'm
You don't
gonna
get a pass.
say it like
You doing
this.
shit on purpose.
We got a lot of people that's finding out the hard way, and you kind of starting to see it. You see what I'm saying? Prime example, Miss Candace Owens. You remember how she was talking before? She no longer sounds like that. The crazy thing is she's very fucking intelligent. And now that she got some sense, she realized, hey man, I fucked up. I steered my people in the wrong direction. She should have never supported Trump. Not saying we should, automatically give her access. Listen,
I think she was about the money from the beginning.
But that don't mean you don't get access no more.
She a grifter. She knew better. She did that shit on purpose.
She was selling out. She was doing the same shit that every other motherfucker doing.
Yeah, she knew what the fuck she was doing.
Motherfucking Oprah. She's selling out. She was going
Mark Robinson.
She married to a motherfucking Jew.
No doubt.
You get what I'm saying? Now she figured out this shit is dangerous.
I can't wait to clip this shit up.
That nobody else can touch. You get what I'm saying? She's going after the motherfucker.
She still getting money. She still getting paid. She go whichever way the money goes.
You know, she defunded like a motherfucker. They ain't fucking with her like that no more.
Erica Hunt.
She went against Charlie Kirk and
let me get to the chat room. Let me get to the chat room. Erica Hunt said, the more successful I get, the more hateful my haters get. And I can say it doesn't bother me. She says, although it don't bother me, it's making me more paranoid. Listen, you know what? I came to a realization years and years ago. I made the mistake of, when I first came home from school, not understanding that I had made a decision to kind of change my trajectory in terms of what I was going to be doing in life, to get money, to work for a living. I wanted so bad to still be able to hang out in the hood with my partners who I grew up with and show them love. Man, I wanted to be in the spot with them. I wanted to chill out. I wanted to pull up on the block. Every bit of success I achieved, I wanted to embrace everybody. And what I ended up doing was wasting a lot of time doing that instead of networking with the people who I was hanging with professionally, or the people who I was working with professionally. Almost everybody who I've worked with professionally now has elevated to another level. Like, they're working for the state, they're superintendents, they're principals. I didn't network with them, so I can't pick up a phone right now and call them and say, yo, I want to get a position here and da-da-da-da. Some of them I can because I was cool with them. But I wasted so much time trying to hang with the cats that I come up with from the neighborhood, only to get to a point where I realized we were standing on two different corners, right? They didn't value what I did during the day. They looked at it like square ass shit. Like, I forgot you went to college. Like, I don't know how many times I would hear that. Oh, I forgot you went to college. And I started to look at what they was doing. Like, well, I'm not finna stand over here on no hot ass block with y'all. And when they come raid, I'm getting shook up for no reason. I had to learn sometimes it's okay to choose a direction and pursue that direction and still be cool with people. Still be cool with the people you come up with. Still be in touch with the community you come from. That don't mean you got to be posted on the block every day. Once I made a decision that, you know what, I'm going to go in a different direction, and I'm going to go in the direction that I thought I was getting involved with when I chose to go to school and get education and better myself, the result was a lot of those people stopped fucking with me. I haven't heard, it's some brothers I see right now, they'll swear, man, Kev, love, man, Kev, man, call me, man, Kev, man. Listen, no, I'm not going to call you and you're not going to call me. I haven't seen you in 10 years plus. And I'm fine with that.
I agree with you, Kev. I definitely agree. It's called trimming the fat.
I'm so fine with it. We call it addition by subtraction. I'm so fine with it. Anybody who I ever deal with on any level, if you choose to step off and go in a different direction, I am one of the first people to say good luck. You don't have to leave angry, just leave. Right? Like, it's not a big deal for me. So a lot of times what people have when they see you, like you see a brother like Dion in the store with his uniform on from work, Dion has made a decision that his life has to go in a certain direction. It's some brothers who looking at him and they're envious of his decision. And they might not even understand, like, how do I even get my mind to the point where I can make a decision like that? So, and it resonates as hate or envy or a little jealousy. So that's gonna happen.
It does.
Like, you know, you ain't.
But
let's be honest. You ain't doing your thing unless somebody is like, somebody gonna hate on you anyway.
Hating on you, yeah. But you know what though, Kev? I ain't gonna lie though. When I started becoming semi-successful, like when I bought my house, stopped using drugs, stopped drinking, stopped smoking and stuff like that. Like, it was lonely because I wanted my people to take trips with me out of town, to go hang out, to go do this, to go do that. But motherfuckers, they didn't want to come, you know what I'm saying? And to this day, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers still smoking, they still drinking. I be like, damn, you 50 years old and you on Facebook rolling the blunt, drinking and shit. Like, I ain't had a drink since 2011. I ain't smoked weed since 2014, and I stopped smoking cigarettes in 2019. I don't do nothing. You feel what I'm saying? So, but that don't mean that I ain't gonna fuck with my people because they still do. Because I want to go out of town with my people. You know what I'm saying? When we going to Memphis and going places, and we going cars deep representing Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? When I'm going out of town, I'm representing the mill by myself. You know what I'm saying? I want to go, you know, but you can't when you live a certain type of life, you can't bring everybody with you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I start understanding when, you know, motherfuckers be like, oh, you a sellout. Not me, but I'm just saying, like, when you start doing good and you stayed on 26 of Burline. You can't stay on 26 of Burline and have a driveway full of cars and bring 85 inches in your house and they see packages coming every day. You know what I'm saying? You can't. Motherfuckers don't want to break. You turn it to break.
You know, he also said it best. Circle getting smaller, everybody can't go.
Earl Henning said, fuck Donald Trump and his friends. Money over, bitch. Earl. He said education is the key to success in life's endeavors.
Malcolm X always talked about that too. Yep.
He says the passport to the future. Erica Hunt said, I'm in that phase of life. Look, one of the biggest conflicts I ever had, and I to this day, and if you know, you know, for my people who listening, who was there at this time, I had, when I would go back to the hood and when I was going out, I don't care what club I was in, I don't care where I was at. I would leave early because I wanted to get to the hood. I wanted to get to the hood bar and go in there with the hood, with my fellas and celebrate with them. So I don't care where I was, I would leave because I had to get back to the hood bar.
Yeah.
And I started to notice that after the bar was over, everybody wants to still hang out. But you on the street. We're on the street, right? Like, so you want to smoke, you want to drink, you want to listen to your music. And I started thinking, well, I got a crib, I got a spot, right? We had at the time, my best friend and I had our own place. And nobody else did. Everybody else pretty much stayed with their mom, right? Like, so, and which it is what it is. But I started to say, well, you know what? I'm gonna get us off the street. Like, if I got a spot we can go to and kick it until, you know, whatever time in the morning. If you want to smoke, you want to drink, you want to bring a girl through or whatever and hang out. And I did. I started to do that. I started saying, everybody can come to my crib. Big mistake. Matter of fact, I'm going to give myself one of these. And one of the first couple times I brought everybody from the bar to the hood, motherfuckers totally disrespected my spot. Okay. Totally disrespected. And like I said, if you was there, you know, it turned into a very huge conflict where I ended up basically almost putting my life and my freedom on the line because I needed some get back off what you just did at my house, right? Like I needed to, I'm not letting this shit ride, right? Like, and I almost done something very stupid behind it. And that lesson right there taught me, if I was strong enough to make that decision and move in my own direction, I'm strong enough to stay over here by myself if don't nobody else want to participate. And so that was the end of it for me. I was pretty much done after that. Like, okay, I'm not. After that, I could go to the hood, and if we kicking it, shit's over. I'm going home. You motherfuckers can't come with me. Because what I figured out too is a lot of the people who I thought was with me wasn't even on my side behind the conflict. They were saying, yeah, but you know, so-and-so. There ain't no so-and-so. What are you talking about? This motherfucker was wrong. So it's that kind of mentality. Sometimes you just got to know when to say when, okay? You have to know in life, when is it time for you to stand on your own? A lot of people are strong in a group. They're not strong on their own. I'm strong on my own or in a group. And I learned that was something that I learned about myself that I value. Like, I was able to make that decision. Like, you know what? That was my fault. I wasn't even, to this day, I ain't mad at most of the people who was involved. I still accept that was on me. That was my fault. Because why would you bring all these people back to your house, right? Like, so I never forget, shout out to Keith Terry, who was my landlord at the time. And it was very funny the next day, and he's talking to me about what happened, and he says, so let me get this straight. It's 3, 4 in the morning. You got a house full of dudes. I don't understand why the fuck. I don't understand how the fuck y'all got your own spot. Y'all got a nice spot, but you got a house full of dudes at the crib. You come home with a house full of dudes, a bunch of hard legs, and so it's just your fault. So I said, you know what? He's right. Why the fuck would I? Because I'm guaranteeing you there was somebody in that group who was looking around saying, man, dude think this little shit is something. Man, dude think this little crib. Fuck dude crib. Fuck him. We say fuck your couch. I'm pretty sure it was somebody who was just hating for the hate, just to be hating. But it was my fault.
I'm positive it was.
Absolutely it was. And so it just became, well, it was a realization for me that when I make a decision for me, I'm making a decision for me. Not worried about the peanut gallery. I'm not worried about what everybody think or how I look to everybody. I'm doing this shit for myself. I'm doing this shit for the betterment of my own personal status. Rarely do I purchase anything with the thought of, oh, motherfuckers gonna feel this way about me, or they gonna see me. If they see me with this, they gonna trip. Rarely does that
when they see the rims.
Right. I don't, and I can't even think of the last time I even felt that way. Almost every decision I've made, I don't know, for the last 20 years, has been what Kev likes. It ain't had nothing to do with nobody else, what the hood think. None of that. It's always been like shoes, clothes. I don't live for other people's approval. I'm not trying to live up to your standard. Because believe me, there's some things I've done or bought or whatever or had that somebody said, man, I wouldn't have got that. Okay, motherfucker, well, you didn't get it.
It's your money. It's your money. Get what you like, motherfucker.
Right. It's like if you walk up eating something and somebody say, oh, man, I don't even like them. I don't eat them. It's like, motherfucker, I didn't offer you none. I didn't bring no extra one. This mine. So I'm so not concerned about trying to live up to some standard that's established on bullshit in the first place, right? Like trying to live up to some hood status or a hood culture, or even what I see on TV. Like, I'm not trying to, I want to be like Stevie J on Love and Hip Hop, or like, I'm not, yeah, man, that's not me. That's not conducive to where I want to go. I think if more of us did that, then I think we'd be in a better place. It's a monkey see, monkey do society, right?
Hey, Kev, back to the scene of the crime. Some niggas need their neck stood on and shit too, though. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't your job to step on everybody's neck and tell them motherfucker how they supposed to be or whatever. But in general, like these motherfuckers like Byron Donalds, Tim Scott, and these motherfuckers who own, people like that, man. You got to stand on that. We not them. They not like us. You know what I'm saying? So I understand the point that you're saying. Well, this little person right here, he don't mean much. He don't mean much. Sometimes it do mean something because one motherfucker teach one. You know what I'm saying? We need this motherfucker to shut the fuck up and be gone with that stupidity because the one that he taught gonna teach another motherfucker and shit, and that shit is going backwards. So any chance and any opportunity that I get to tell a motherfucker who they are and what they sound like, and it is all the way asinine and backwards as fuck, I'm telling you, fuck that. It's my job to tell you, man. You sound like a damn fool. And that's just my opinion. It's my opinion and shit. And man, I feel like it's my duty to tell a fool ass nigga that, man, you sound crazy. Who the fuck raised you?
Erica said maybe it's a female thing, but my circle a dot and it's super lonely. Hey, it says lonely at the top, right? I mean, I don't. Lonely. Earl Henny said, Kevin, fuck who don't pay the rent. Free game for the win. Listen, Erica, to that statement, don't get me wrong. My life ain't as exciting as it used to be, right? Like, I don't be. It's a lot of people,
either.
That's why I'm so far out the loop on what's popping, what joints is popping, where to go and where to be at.
Yeah.
Because most of the time I'm solo, or if I'm just me and West Side Zelenon. A lot of my partners done moved out of the state. That people have moved on with their lives, right? Like a lot of my crew is living in other places, right? And sometimes it is kind of boring, but it's a good boring because it ain't no drama. I ain't got to worry about no bullshit happening. Ain't nothing getting stolen. Ain't nobody getting their head busted. So I recognize, hey, this is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. And sometimes it's fun. And I'm like, okay, well, I suffered through the boring parts. I'm gonna have a good time when it's time to have a good time because of me standing on my own square. So yeah, you can't really worry about who you left behind or who chose to be left behind. But Ewok, I hear you. I got this thing where if I don't like you, if I don't like what you say, I just don't talk to you. Right? I don't.
This nigga.
Like, you'll know if I don't fuck with you because I don't talk to you. Right? I don't listen. I don't talk about you to nobody else. I don't say nothing to you. I just if we driving down the street and I see you and you see me, we don't even got to speak. We don't even have to acknowledge each other. I promise you, it's one of those things where if you don't like me, I probably more than likely dislike you more than you dislike me. Matter of fact, most of the time, if I find out you don't like me, I start making an effort to not like you more.
That's competitive.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you think you hate me? I can't stand your ass. Like it's that kind of thing. I don't have a problem with you doing what you do. If I don't agree with it, I just don't come around. I don't go around nobody house, go to nobody's house just to go back and say, man, guess what dude was doing? I wouldn't know what the fuck he was doing. I stopped going to his house, right? It's like I said, once I figured out, okay, the hood on some bullshit. Ain't no need for me to be there. I don't know what the fuck is going on because you don't see my black ass no more. I just think you have to be confident to be your own person. You have to be secure in who you are to be your own person. And as far as like those people who speak like Tim Donaldson and all those black people who have these opinions and they want to play into, Trumpism and MAGAism, I don't look at their platforms. That's why I rarely know what they said because I don't look at their shit. I don't click on they posts. I don't go to their page. None of that shit. I don't pay them no attention because I'm not going to give you a rating. I'm not going to give you a view. I'm not going to give you a like or a comment. That's why you never see me arguing with nobody on Facebook. Come on, man. Most of the time, if I see you say some bullshit on a post, I just keep scrolling. I don't even click on the shit. It's like, why would I waste my time? I think if more people minded their own business, this world would be a better place. Sharita Shaw said it's a warranted peaceful boring. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to earn peace. Peace is earned.
Yeah, ain't nothing like your motherfucking peace. Sometimes you got to get away from your own goddamn family, and that's the worst because they know how to press your motherfucking button.
Yes, sir.
Trust me, I know about that shit.
Oh yeah. Shout out to my family that I rock with. Shout out to the family that I don't. I got a lot of cousins who ain't seen me in years, and we live close to each other.
Me too. I'm the same way. I don't fuck with certain people.
Remember what Martin said that time on that show. If you walk away from me, I just love you from behind. Right? Like I can love you from here. Like you good. Like I don't hate you. I ain't mad at you, but I don't need you to come by the house. I don't need you to call me. You straight. Stay over there. I like you more over there. Right? Yeah, like and I realize people bring a lot of bullshit with them, right?
They do.
Since I stopped being around a lot of cats, my drama, my level of being involved in bullshit has gone to zero.
Yep.
I can't think of the last time somebody called me and said, "Kid, man, it's so and so. I just got into it with these fools, man. Hey, man, come up here." I can't think of the last time that happened to me because I don't fuck with them. I'd be like, "What you call me for?" I'm the first one you call. Whereas back in the days, I might have ran out the house and jumped in the car like, man, I got to go say the homie. Not so much.
Not anymore.
Don't get me wrong. I got some people who can call me still and say, "Kev, I need some AA." My first thing gonna be like, "Where are you at and what happened?" Before I ride up blindly, like, "What's going on?" Like, if you in the middle of a shootout, Call me after the shit's over. Don't call me.
Don't call me while niggas busting and then they reloading. No, don't call me for that.
Or after you just shot up some shit. Don't I'm finna come through there. No. No.
You just
I'm
made me
sweet.
an accessory, and that's gonna make me mad at your ass.
I'm in the bed, man. Now, did y'all see that Milwaukee is about to get a $960,000 grant to rebuild the food network in the city, local food
I saw that
networks?
a couple of days ago. Something they were talking about that, but I wasn't sure. Okay. I thought it was clickbait.
Sounds like a good thing to me. I don't know, $960,000, is that enough? We do got a lot of food deserts in the city, but I see the mayor's his face he's smiling on the picture like he had something to do with it.
Even watching Outlaw Radio, he know that you always say he don't do shit.
Like these motherfuckers said I ain't did shit. Watch this. I'm about to get some
shit.
shit.
It's gonna be almost $1 million. Now what, Negro? Yeah.
We giving away bags at the close down pick and save on 27.
He said at the close down pick and save on center.
Pull up. It's just like Sharita, you right. Is that enough? See, I don't know. I think this should be invested. I'm a person who thinks maybe that money should be invested in infrastructure to help people start businesses who want to have stores. Like, and maybe instead of Arabs opening up gas stations and grocery stores, because we see that, maybe there should be earmarked for minorities or foundational Black Americans who want to enter into that business. Because we know a lot of times when they got gas stations and grocery stations or grocery stores, you go in there, goddamn pound of old bologna is $20. And you're like, how old is this damn bologna? This shit been here 20 years. I don't know, my friend. I slice for you thin if you want. So I think that maybe we need to be investing in the infrastructure. I'd like to see, I didn't get enough depth in the article. Maybe if somebody out there did, let me know how they plan on investing this money or where this money. Because if you're just giving away food, it's waste not, want not, right? Like if you're just gonna say we're gonna give away $960,000 worth of food, because what are you giving away? Like what, we got food banks. There's a lot of food banks in the city that give away money. I mean, give away food all the time. So if you're just another food bank, I mean, I'd like to know more about it. If anybody got any information on that, please let me know. Also, I seen on this cruise that the hantavirus is on this cruise, and the boat is sitting out in the middle of the water, and everybody on the boat is sick. I don't know if y'all seen this.
The monkey.
Well, no.
From a monkey.
No, it doesn't. It comes from exposure to rodents, to rats, right? Fuck the monkey. I don't know.
He said somebody fucked the monkey. I'm like,
I don't even know where that starts at. How we who owned the ship? And so did they screw the monkey and then screw somebody else unprotected, and then it just passed from there? I don't know.
It just came with perfect comedic timing because I was not expecting him to say that. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, he fucked the monkey.
Right, and got the hantavirus, right? Like I don't. See, I'm not a traveler, right? And so I've had this with people about being on these damn cruises out there in the middle of the ocean and shit, and one person come down with something. Now everybody on the boat got it and they quarantine. Like I think 3-4 people have died from this hantavirus. So this is why I'm so skeptical about getting my ass on a boat. Talking about we gonna go get on the cruise. Like if something
go hang out in other parts of the world where they hate us anyway because of this crazy white man in the White House.
Well, I mean, if we out there on the water and some shit happened on this boat, we stuck out here. I'm not cool with being stuck out on the boat in the middle of the water. Like I'm sorry.
Now, with no virus on that motherfucker, that could be like some zombies and shit. They could make a movie on that shit. Like that'll be a pretty good movie though, because a ship is big as hell. Like a ship, like 10 stories. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like when I went to New Orleans, and shit, I seen how big those ships really are. You got smaller ships, but a lot of them pretty big. So, but I thought it said something about fucking a monkey on there, though. I ain't lying.
Absolutely.
I ain't lying.
Absolutely.
I'm going to go back on there and look, because I could have sworn that I seen it said
the hantavirus is not a monkey sexually transmitted disease, bro. It's exposure to rodents, man. Like, you can Google that real quick.
Where did I get the monkey thing from, then? I had to see something with the monkey.
You watching
Outbreak.
Right, you watching the Ebonic News Network, man. I don't know where that shit came from. That shit's crazy.
You don't ever want to move and stuff like that. But I ain't gonna lie. If I had the resources, man, I would want to move to a different country. This shit right here would make you snap the fuck out what's going on in the United States of America. I just ain't gonna lie to you. They talking about the GOP proposes $1 billion in taxpayer money for Trump's
for the ballroom, baby.
Who gave this man permission to tear the White House down? Like, I just can't believe this. Like, and to hear people just sit up here and defend the shit that he do. I'm talking about would go the bats and oh man and this, that, and he's protecting us from Iran and this and he's like, oh my fucking God,
shouldn't
dude.
Shouldn't we be mad at Deion, shouldn't we be mad at the Republican legislators who voted this in?
Yep.
Like, I don't even see how they allow this clown to be. I guess they got what they want because, you know, like the other day when we were sitting back talking, somebody had said something Monday, and I didn't have a chance to elaborate on it because he was reading the chat room. But basically, you know, Mitch McConnell, they've been planning this shit since Reagan was in office.
I hate that.
You know what I'm saying? Like John Roberts, you know what I'm saying? They've been planning this reversal of the voting right legislation since then, since it was enacted. But just to see, but since Ronald Reagan, I've been over 40 years, you know what I'm saying? Like over 50 years almost probably. Because I was born in 77, I'm almost 50. And Ronald Reagan, where he was elected in what, like 83, 84, something like that? You know what I'm saying?
1980.
But just to see this bullshit like this, man, I don't know, bro. Like this, it's crazy. I can't believe it. It really is. Like, that's one reason. This one lady that's on this radio station, you've been on that, Kev, and I love them to this day because if it weren't for them, I would have never heard about you. And from that day forward, I've been rocking with you. But it was just putting him in office it's a distraction. Every day is some goofy.
It is a distraction going on.
Sure. I'm talking about every fucking day. It's not funny. It's not theatrics. Ain't nothing about it. It's our life being played with. You know what I'm saying? All type of shit going on. Like they was talking about they was talking about the fuel today. And they was talking about JetBlue about to probably go through what Spirit went through. And then they was talking about how Europe, they don't have enough jet fuel. Asia, you know, China and Japan, this globally was happening. You know what I'm saying? And I can't just sit back and just be over there if I'm a prime minister of some country and be like, the United States allowed this stupid idiot fucking grifter or whatever you call him to get in the office, and now he's fucking up for everybody. Not just, for everybody.
And I'm gonna be honest, Deion, it's gonna get even worse. You got shit like I don't know if you heard of Palantir. It's gonna get worse. I don't even know if you heard of Palantir and what they doing with these. I mean, they already implemented what's those fog lamps or whatever the fuck they clock cameras and shit like that. Fucking with you, and then they infiltrating your phones and shit like that. And then sooner or later, I'm gonna be honest, your social media they gonna do this shit with this social credit score. Basically, they're gonna stop motherfuckers, and they already started with this damn ID shit. They're gonna start banning motherfuckers from traveling. They can't spend money on certain shit like guns and whatnot like that, dude. This shit is finna be a takeover. So that's why I don't believe in this shit no more. Democracy is gone. I feel like it was never there. This shit was all an illusion. Yep. And they're just showing you what it is now.
Huh. Well, not trying to scare nobody or nothing, but
I ain't trying to scare nobody. If you look at what's going on, Kev, and you see all these different organizations, even our Boule people, with your Divine Nine, your Freemasons, your Illuminati. Oh, we got too much shit. Your Trilateral Commission. You got BlackRock, Blackstone. You got State Street Vanguard. All this bullshit is just in the way, man. So, I mean, this shit has been going on for years, way before we was fucking born. And you look at the shit that happened with Kennedy. This is way before us, man. So it's gonna take the worst for us to clean this shit up. Just get ready.
Earl Henning says 10 people with $5,000 can open a grocery store. Okay. Erica Hunt said. Erica Hunt said.
Hold on, let me say this, man.
Hold on, I'm trying to read the chat room. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm talking about the brothers, the people down in Texas and the cats down in Colorado with the farms, man. You know, how they getting attacked, man, because you got the white folks coming there trying to fuck with their cattle and fuck up their crops and shit. I'm not understanding why, because I'm like, damn, dude, they ain't fucking with your shit. They don't pull themselves up by the bootstrap. But it's the very fact that they can feed. If you can start to reproduce feed your people and shit like that, man, that allows us to also take away from the food industry and shit like that. Now we got to worry about the medicine. We need doctors. We need doctors. Shit, all the way down to engineering. We need our own everything, man. I'm gonna keep it 100.
Okay.
I'm at a loss for words trying to go. It's just so crazy.
Erica
But
Hunt
it's crazy how people.
She says, I'm more worried about the after effects. Is Donald Trump endgame to really put people back into slavery? Black people, calm down. Listen. I don't believe, and as bad as I say Trump is, and I don't believe that can actually, that ain't as easy as people might think
never allow that to happen. It'll be war before that.
It's a lot. There's a lot that's going to happen before we get put back in slavery. I know black people get paranoid about that shit. That is the ultimate way for black. That's the ultimate punishment. They try to put us back in slavery. Like, it ain't that easy. And if so, then where? How you gonna? A lot of us won't work here.
It's funny. It's funny you say that, because I've gotten into several debates about that, and my thing is how I get a lot of people, like how I got the Trump supporters and all this kind of stuff. I just ask them how, or why do you think that way, or do you have something factual and substantive to add to give me an example to make me understand so I can be where you are. All you hear is crickets. I don't want to say I would love
slavery,
that.
You already have it because you have a penitentiary. Your ass is a slave when you're in the penitentiary.
Exactly. That's what they're talking about. Yeah.
All right. So you're gonna start just sending us to prisons. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. And this is my thing, y'all. And shout out to, once again, now I don't know if y'all heard, the latest plan now is we're closing the library on Capitol Drive.
Jesus Christ.
And they're going to send that, they're going to put a library in Midtown, right where the old Walmart is. And they're trying to build apartments over there, trying to make it apartment buildings, affordable housing. So that's the plan. No retail recovery, affordable housing. And I don't
know, kid.
Right. Our decision makers, man, they are questionable at best, right? Like, I don't know. I wish
I was liquid $300 million and had a net worth of like 800
You and me
million.
both. Come on.
Yeah, I would love to come to Milwaukee. It's so many things you could do to fix that shit with money.
Hell yeah. So this is the question, because I was thinking about this week, because we won't be back on till Monday. I was thinking about this, and I was saying I want to say something to the people that listen and the people that support us, people that partake of value, something solid that you can take with you. And I wanted to say to people, I want us to start asking ourselves, are we traumatized? And how are we traumatized? And what are we traumatized by? And how it's actually affecting your life right now? Because we talk a lot on here. People talk about post-traumatic slave syndrome, and we talk about trauma and what we've all been through in our lives. And I'm saying, like, I want to encourage people to take stock in their own person, their own personality, because I want people to be able to work on what it is that's bothering them, right? Like what are you traumatized by? Because it's time to start looking for a solution. Right. We talk about a bunch of poor people in our community who commit crimes, people who live, hand to mouth. We live, these crazy existences where we're just trying to make it, trying to survive from day to day. What's keeping you from getting to that next level? Is it a situation of trauma? Because that's something you can actually work on. I want us to ask ourselves, what's traumatizing me? Like, one day we could talk about this on the show, right? We one big ass family. We could talk about what we're traumatized by, right? I always reference growing up in the crack epidemic, going from 10 to 20 years old at the height of the crack epidemic. God. And I had to ask myself one day, Am I traumatized by that? Some of the stuff I seen, some of the stuff I did, some of the stuff I was involved in. Am I traumatized by it? I don't think I am, because it didn't hold me back from doing anything. It shaped my perspective. It created the way I feel about people, right? It destroyed trust. I usually don't trust people. I don't give a fuck who you are, where you come from, what you promise. I do not trust you. It's very hard for me to trust people. And I think that is a direct result of me growing up during that time when nobody was trustworthy, including our own United States government that was trafficking cocaine into the country. And we found that shit out later on. Because for a lot of us, we were sitting around like, what the hell is going on? How's this happening? Found out that, Sweet Land of Liberty of D.I. Singh was responsible for it. So I just want you to start thinking about what you're traumatized by. We need to start initiating some self-therapy, right? And I'm not going on this corny ass shit that I see online where people talk about self-love and my healing. I'm bringing my healing period in. I'm talking about really doing a deep dive on yourself, saying, man, can I be fixed, or do I need to go and get some help with this shit? I just think we need to take stock in that. Erica Hunt says, shit, I don't want to be a modern day slave. I'm allergic to jail, right? Boycott the prison, right? Earl said no jail food for him. Yeah, some of the shit we eat out in the free world is jail food in terms of processed food. We just don't know it. Now, before I get off of here tonight, I ran across an interesting statistic that says since 1967, there's been the level of interracial marriage has increased 5 times. So there's 5 times more interracial marriages today than there was in 1967. And what that looks like to me is a mass abandonment of us abandoning each other, right? Like I'm wondering, what will it actually take to bring this thing to a point where we're coming back together as opposed to moving further apart, right? Especially when it comes to black men and black women. And we talked a couple weeks ago about this when Niecy Nash said, more and more each day for women over 40 are discovering love with another woman. And then I seen Portia Williams. She was getting questioned about her reality show Love with Another Woman, her reality show Lesbian. And she was saying, I always liked girls. I had a little girlfriend when I was little and all this shit. Like, you got a whole daughter. You have a daughter, right? Like, you've been married 3 times, but the whole time you liked women. Like, maybe
that's what feminism did to black women.
I think ratings did that to Portia Williams. One of the wives of Atlanta and not lose.
This shit is so fake, bro. Exactly. She want clicks and likes, bro. That's all it is. That's wild.
It's so fake. It's so fake.
It's fake as hell.
I think that's another thing besides trying to. And I think once we look at what we're traumatized by and start to deal with our own issues, it will be easier for us to be with somebody. A lot of us ain't in relationships because whatever is affecting us got us so fucked up that it's hard to find somebody to deal with your shit. And that's understandable. Like, who wants to be in some bullshit all the time with your crazy ass because you still tripping off some shit that happened to you a long time ago? So I think even in relationships, a lot of times, if you out there and you can't find somebody, the direction you need to look in is yourself. Say, yes. I'm the common denominator here. What the fuck is wrong with me? How do I either keep attracting all these fucked up relationships, or what am I doing to continue the cycle? It's easy to blame other people for your fuck up shit, but it's hard to accept your role in it, right? And so I think a lot of what we have to do as a people, black people, when we see them taking things out of our community, gentrifying our community, us falling behind economically, we need to start to ask ourselves, what role are we actually playing in this? Because it can't just be because the white man wanted it this way. Because if that's the case, then we are more than a willing participant, because we are allowing a lot of this shit to happen. You are ignoring the power that you have and yearning for the power that you don't have. And that's a bad thing. This is Earl Henning said, pussy to pussy. I have Earl, what are you talking?
What the fuck is he talking about, bro?
He talking about lesbians.
Oh, scissors. I know y'all ain't scissoring in there. I know you fucking lying.
Erica Hunt said, I'm traumatized by the strong black woman syndrome. You're traumatized by it.
What? That's different.
That's different. It's different. But at least she's trying. Right? You got to get it started. Ian, what you got coming up? I know you got a thing you do. When is your next show?
I'm gonna do something either on a Sunday or Friday, but I'm gonna have to do something on Friday, man, because it's just so much, especially with the Virginia State Miss Lucas, the senator, getting arrested like that. I just want to touch on that more. I also want to touch on a few of the things that they are specifically doing, like Trump trying to use the Emergency Powers Act to cancel the elections. That's one I'm gonna touch on. We'll probably end up talking about that, huh?
He was clearing his throat.
Oh yeah, so yeah, that's another thing. But yeah, I think we'll do Friday, and we'll do Friday 7:30, same time as Outlaw Radio comes on Mondays and Wednesdays, and then just really, you said what?
I'm gonna have to catch you. You know I fuck with you.
I know, I appreciate it, but I'm definitely gonna do it for sure, and I'm gonna create some promos. But I want to touch on one thing too, especially the relationship aspect, because I've been getting a lot of like messages from like shit we do on here, Kev, to where people like, man, y'all should talk about that more, or you should talk about it, or however y'all do it, because you guys have very interesting perspectives on it. So I'm gonna touch on that, but we're gonna do Friday 7:30 Central Standard Time, and we'll go on there for like an hour or so.
I want to come on your platform and be like, bitch, this, bitch, that funky ass, stinking ass hoe standing on a bitch neck. You understand? It's pimping for real.
God damn. He went full blown Snooki.
Damn, my daughter just heard all of that shit.
Yeah, my bad.
How to lose friends and influence, right? Have Dion come on your platform. You'll be okay. Hey, shout out to everybody who's tuning into the show. I really appreciate it. I'm glad everybody has been willing to engage. And the involvement and the interaction has been incredible.
Yes.
We'll be back Monday. Hit the Cash App, donate to the show. StreamYard is going up. Opus Clip is going up. Everything is going up. I know people say, Kev, I'm gonna hit it, but nobody don't hit the shit. Shout out to Mama Jenkins. Thank you for your donation. But more importantly, just share the show. That's the biggest thing.
Yes, God, yes.
Let people know we ain't doing this shit for practice, and people are listening and they're hearing things that can pique their interest. In the meantime and in between time, have a safe rest of the week. Keep your head on the swivel.
Yes, sir.
The weather is changing. This is Milwaukee. The sun is coming out.
It's cold outside.
Well, the weather's changed. It's gonna keep changing, Dion.
It's cold.
Oh. It's 48, 46 degrees right now. But we're gonna be having some 70 degree days coming up. The sun will be out. You're gonna see
that's better than 10 degrees, man.
Yeah, well, no doubt. Or negative.
Yeah, I'm with y'all on that.
I'm not to pay my water bill, man.
So
just a motherfucking shame. I only use $47.93 worth of total water charges, but I gotta pay $310.
Okay.
That's ridiculous.
Once again, thank y'all for tuning in, man. I will see y'all Monday, because we'll be back on Monday.
Yes, sir.
And like I said, keep your head on the swivel. Be safe, man. If your criticism of the community outweighs your contribution to it, more likely than not, you're a coon, and you need to be listening to Outlaw Radio. So we'll see you on Monday, Raccoon. All right, man. Peace and love.